Okay, and that also is a bit of a worry and poses an existential threat to the security of the state. So until we put the right structures in place, which would include enhancing institutional capacity, education, improved intelligence, improved border security, we'll still have serious issues with the proliferation of arms.
From security to some court matters, the Bono Regional Chairman of the governing New Party, Mr. Kwame Baffoe, has been granted 100,000 Ghana cedi bail by the Accra Circuit Court 8, with two sureties who must deposit their passports at the court registry. Mr. Baffoe, popularly known as Abronye DC, was arrested for allegedly claiming that former President John Mahama was plotting a coup. He was invited by the police on Tuesday, February 16, and detained after questioning. The case has been adjourned to March 9, 2022.
Known as Abronye DC, was charged with publication of false news and offensive conduct conducive to the breach of peace. He pleaded not guilty to the charge. His lawyers, arguing for bail, told the Accra Circuit Court 8 that their client is a well-known person with 2 places of abode in the country. They gave the assurance that he would surrender himself to the court anytime he was required to do so. The prosecution was not opposed to the plea. The judge also noted that the case was a misdemeanor and accordingly granted him bail. Mr. Baffoe pleaded not guilty to all counts of the charges. The police have submitted that a preliminary investigation has established that Mr. Kwame Baffe's claims against former President John Mahama are untrue and likely to occasion a breach of the peace. Mr. Baffoe is alleged to have said that Mr. John Mahama had met with Al-Qaeda militants to engage them on how to topple the government. He claimed that Mr. Mahama approached the group in a bid to help him become president again. The NPP communicator made these claims on a private radio station while responding to the arrest of the #FixTheCountry convener Oliver Mausi Baka Wamavo.
I have been advised by my counsel not to respond to this effected by the IGP. I think the next court date is on the 9th. But what I would like to say is that no amount of this populist incarceration would enjoin me from voicing out or speaking my mind. In the coming days, from tomorrow going, I'll come out with some personal issues that I have with the IGP, which has nothing to do with this particular case.
Still on court issues, the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, says the association is consulting with its lawyers on the way forward following an order from the Labour Division of the Accra High Court on Tuesday, February 15, 2022, to call off their strike. The order follows an application for interlocutory injunction moved by the National Labour Commission, NLC, to compel the striking union to go back to work pending determination of the substantive matter with the enforcement of the NLC's directive to UTAG to call off the 5-week-old strike. The president of the University of Ghana chapter of UTAG, Mr. Samuel Nkumban, spoke to GBC News in an earlier interview.
Is that we would get this certified order which details what it is that the court has ordered, what it is that the responsibility is on UTAG to do or not to do within the period of injunction, which is my understanding that is over the next 7 days. And so once we get that, then of course we would have to look at what is legally possible also, in order that we do not go on the wrong side of the law by way of abiding by the directive of the court. Between now and Monday, we would make a determination which would be made public also based on the receipt of these orders. We are yet to get to the bridge at which our lawyers advise on our next course of action, or that there may be legal options for us to pursue, leading to ensuring that we get government attend to our needs.
The month-long commemoration of the 5 years of the installation of Nana Konadu Yiadom III as Asantehemaa has been climaxed with a grand durbar of Queen Mothers of Asantehemaa. The Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the First Lady Mrs. Rebecca Ekufuado, and former First Lady Nana Konadu Ajiman Rawlings graced the occasion with their presence. The Vice President eulogized Nana Konadu Yiadom as the mother figurehead of women in Asantehemaa and an inspiration to modern mothers and women with a passion to transform the female population into a progressive societal development.
The first of 5 children of the late Nana Ifia Kobise Wampim with Otumfuo Setutu was born in 1927 as Nana Penin and later christened by the Saviour Church of Ghana as Ruth. Nana Konadu Yiadom was chosen by the current Asantehemaa to succeed their biological mother as the 14th Asantehemaa. According to the custom, traditions and heritage of Asante, the Queen Mother has the final say in who becomes a chief right from the community level through to the Asantehemaa status. The month-long 5th anniversary of the installment of Nana Konadu Yiadom was marked with clean-up exercises, donation of childcare items to new mothers, as well as the payment of medical bills of new mothers who could not afford to pay for hospital services at selected hospitals. It was climaxed with a grand durbar at the Menshia Palace. The celebrant, Nana Konadu Yiadom, was the last to arrive at the durbar grounds in a palanquin. People from both home and abroad from various political and religious backgrounds graced the occasion as they showered the Asantehemaa with assorted gifts and cash donations amidst glowing tributes and exchange of pleasantries. A former First Lady and an indigene of Asante, Nana Konadu Ajiman Rawlings, paid glowing tributes to the Asantehemaa. The current First Lady, Mrs. Rebecca Ekufuado, also had some kind words for the mother figurehead of Asantehemaa.
Since her installment, Nana has been a unifier and a driving force for the of the Asante Kingdom and a strong advocate and champion for women and children. When I heard that Nana Konadu Yiadom III had paid the medical bills for patients at the mother and baby unit and donated items to mothers whose children had been admitted at Komfo-Anokye and Menchia District Hospital, I said to myself,
Ghana's first female chief of staff at the presidency, Mrs. Akosua Fremose-Opare, lauded the Ghanaian woman for her contribution to the growth of society. The Asantehemaa Otumfuo Setutu proclaimed a day be set aside every 6 months to celebrate the contribution of Queen Mothers for their critical contributions to development of the society in general.
Now, say so the Mexican catchum say, and the 6th February, February, and yet Ahimada.
While praising the virtues exhibited by Nana Konadu Yiadom so far, Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had a word for the contemporary Queen Mother.
Nana, we are most grateful for the work you are doing, bringing Queen Mothers together to deliberate on how to use your quiet power as a cultural institution to tackle society's challenges at the grassroots, and how to leverage on your quiet council of men to bring us home to address the fundamental challenges with growing urbanization and how to open opportunities for women.
On the international front, the transition of Ghana and Guyana to the status of developed economies will largely depend on adding value to their hydrocarbon resources, says President Akufo-Addo at the first International Energy Conference and Expo in Georgetown, the capital of Guyana. President Akufo-Addo told the gathering that a major challenge confronting Ghana is how to develop the oil and gas industry with optimal local content and participation, hence the passage of the Local Content Law.
Of production in 2010, while Georgetown joined the elite club in 2019. The new kid on the block, Guyana, proudly has approximately 9 billion barrels of oil, which is 3 times higher than that of Ghana. But with the determination not to toe the path of countries unable to make judicious use of their oil resources, Accra and Georgetown have resolved to share the experience and improve the lot of their citizens. At the maiden International Energy Conference and Expo in Georgetown, attended by President Akufo-Addo and his peers from Guyana, Suriname and Prime Minister of Barbados, Ghana was touted as a model case in Africa in the management of oil and gas resources.
We must provide our human resources with the best possible training through access, affordability, and equity. And we're investing to do this beginning this year. With our strategic partners, together we are building out this capacity in giving the private sector, every Guyanese, the training to actively participate in the future development of our country.
In charting this transition, we must recognize that others have gone before us and had profited from the earned revenues to develop a modern economy and create a future path of economic development where oil and gas may not play such a significant role anymore.
President Akufo-Addo, to ensure that Ghanaians become active players in the oil and gas industry, a local content law was passed in 2010.
We resolved soon after our oil discovery to improve the legal, regulatory, and institutional framework for the efficient management of our oil and gas industry. To demonstrate further our commitment to ensuring transparency and accountability, Ghana set up a Public Interest Accountability Committee, PIAC, to deal with challenges relating to transparency and accountability with respect to the use of petroleum revenues. Ghana has also signed up to the Extractive Industry Transparent Initiatives in relation to oil and gas, which requires that we publish revenues from petroleum resources and agree to use these resources efficiently for the benefit of our people.
With some resources endowed nations in Africa failing to achieve sustainable development from the exploitation of their natural resources, President Akufo-Addo says Ghana has implemented a number of policies and initiatives to change the narrative. Edward Nyakum, reporting for GBC News.
We draw the curtain on the breakfast news at 6 here. Up next is the weather report, after which Kafri, Thelma and Valerie will bring you social media trends. I am Multi-Tisaida Sadiq.
Thanks for staying on. Breakfast is live on GTV. Thanks to our sponsors, Awake Purified Water and Adunko Next Level Energy Drink. Let's look at what's trending. And if you go to your Twitter feed, depending on what pages you follow, you'd realize that there's a hashtag that's on there, hashtag e-levy for development. That story is the same as what's trending for what's under Francis. So if you don't know why those two are in the trends this morning, the e-levy debate continues, and there's an advert which the government side has put out to help galvanize public support for paying the levy. And yesterday, the president's official Twitter account put that video out, and it created such a buzz. But let's watch the video, and then Kaf and Val and I will tell you what people are saying about it.
My name is Francis. I finished Takoradi Technical University 5 years ago. Getting a job has been a challenge for my friends and I. Recently, when I heard of the government's UTAG project, I renewed hope. My friends and I are looking forward to the new opportunity of UTAG, so we can create our own jobs and employ others. Our youth need jobs. Government needs revenue to create jobs. Let's support revenue mobilization. Let's support e-levy. E-levy for development.
So that video quickly started a trend on Twitter, especially, and on other social media platforms. So the guy in the video is the one who identified himself as Francis, and everyone just went asking questions about how anyone can be unemployed for 5 years and still own that Apple laptop and some PlayStation.
So a lot of comments coming in.
These are tweets replying to the president's official post. Reduce your ministers from 110 to 60. Stop issuing fuel coupons to your officials. Let them buy with the salary they take. Stop giving them fuel, rent, entertainment, etc. allowances. Reduce the number of V8 you send to a function, and we will pay e-levy while smiling. So these are thoughts by those people who are sharing neutral Mary here, so we cannot independently authentify what they are saying.
No,
but
this is what she said.
That's what they said.
That's her view.
But that's her view. But do we know whether the ministers are they are getting all these things they are getting? Is the point I'm making. So that's her view, and we are just reiterating it. Let me just put that out.
They are getting these things. That's her view.
At least we know about the V8s. At least we see the V8s,
which they get a loan to buy, and then it's deducted from their salary. As far as I know,
reduce the thing, and then maybe we will pay e-levy while smiling.
Okay, so e-levy is still very much on the hearts of Ghanaians, and the debate about whether to pay or not to pay is still raging. It hasn't been reintroduced in Parliament, but once it is, nobody really can say they will not pay, right?
So that's
more
engagement. 2,500 plus retweets,
207K views. And then 3,000 comments.
Yes.
So that's the retweets, and then loves almost 4,000 we are seeing there. But it's the comments that's generating the buzz, isn't it?
If I were the finance minister, I would read through every single comment, because
all 3,005.
Yes, because this is feedback. This is feedback. Feedback doesn't have to be always positive. Sometimes you get good feedback from negative views or criticism. So this is feedback. 207,000 views, that's a lot of views. That's a fifth of a million. So people have watched that video. People have commented on it. 3,000 people have spent time putting their thoughts down in 280 characters. They've retweeted. The thing has gone round. So it's actually great feedback. Yeah, they should go through the comments. It's on the president's own
the official Twitter handle.
Yeah, so he's supporting the government's revenue mobilization drive, of course.
And that's the hashtag e-levy for development. That video. So that's what's causing those stories to trend, at least for the e-levy for development and for Francis. Break the 8 is also trending on Twitter, and yesterday some claim they've sent photos, and they actually posted those photos on Twitter, that fuel prices are about to hit 8 Ghana cedis, and they are saying it's from Total. So these pictures that we saw from yesterday
pegged diesel at 7.990 and super also at 7.990. And the idea that I got from reading through the tweets was that this agenda to break the 8 is the fuel prices that will hit the 8 first.
Ghanaians agree. I love my people, man.
Ghanaians.
Fuel about to break the 8.
So count down to breaking the 8 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 days. That photo is accompanying this. Abna Magis is saying this. You know, Abna Magis is very vocal on social media. She's hashtag Yentia e-levy.
As for me, I don't break the 8. I buy from Ghanaian guys, and the Ghanaian guys are nowhere near 7.9.
We were driving to work this morning, and I was trying to find what the prices were, at least for those that were on the routes that we were using. And I saw 7.4, 7.3, 7.5. Yes, but I didn't see 7.9.
Well, there it is.
So they are showing it to me now, but I am just... Ghana.
The 8 is about to be broken.
And fuel is so dear to the hearts of Ghanaians. Even Stoneboy has also tweeted about it. You know that celebrities are also just like us. They feel the same things that we feel. And Stoneboy has added his voice to the fuel conversation, and he sent the tweet. Will be putting up very shortly. And there you go. They use fuel coupons. Now they buy fuel. And the buzz that's also generated.
Yeah, some are asking whether NDC has bought him, which is a real low blow. I mean, if somebody has a view that is contrary to yours, you do not ask him such a well, you can. It's a democracy, but and these are some of the comments.
So Ghanaians should accept the e-levy, because without that, for 1 gallon could be 20 Ghana. You feel bet. So it's he has extended the finger so that you bet.
Okay, we're not going to read any insults. But you feel proud when you attend your shows and you boost them sitting in the front. So it's Rob Fuel Price to Pay show. It's what it is. Say that again, super. So people, there's a lot of engagement on this particular tweet, and people are for and against, as it should be. But it just shows you that
because everybody is buying the fuel, and when you are at the petrol station, nobody asks you to show any party card or any kind of card to be able to buy.
So that's what I'm talking about.
More messages asking, this one from Starboy Zamani, asking why NDC pay you. And one guard, please don't indulge yourself in partisan politics, please. And Lexus is coming back to say he's not indulging, he's so depending on which side of the political divide you belong to, you either support or
but why do we have a culture here in Ghana? If there's a social issue and people speak about it, why must you say he's doing politics?
Yeah, because
Stoneboy buys fuel.
Yes, and it's quite insulting for you to say that somebody is a political guy because he disagrees with you.
No, come on. I mean, we need to stop that culture in Ghana.
So go to his Twitter. There's a lot of engagement there.
It's still a waging war, and it's not just Stoneboy who catches heat.
Jocelyn Duma was talking about e-levy.
For doing these things on social media.
Everybody's talking.
So the celebrities, anything they say basically creates a buzz. And in Nigeria, Davido is also creating a lot of waves. He's #1 on Twitter perhaps now?
Yes, he has like 18-point-something million views. Followers on Instagram. It's quite a huge.
So Davido, last year, sometime in November, we did it on the trend here. On his birthday or close to his birthday, he asked all people who loved him to send him like 1 million naira. And I thought it was like, just one of those things musicians do. And the monies started pouring in. And he promised when he got 200 million naira that he was going to share the money to orphanages. Well, yesterday he issued a statement that he had indeed
250 million
done that. So he got 200 million from donations. He added his own 50 million to make 250 million in total. And he's saying that it's been distributed to 292 orphanages. That's the statement he issued as a follow-up to the press statement released on 19 November 2021, where I announced my intention of donating the total sum of 200 million naira received from my friends and family, together with my personal donation of 50 million to orphanages across Nigeria. I bring you an update. As promised, a 5-man disbursement committee was set up. Since its inauguration, the members of this committee have worked tirelessly to ensure that they collate the names and information of documented and verified orphanages. I'm pleased to announce that disbursement of funds is complete. So 250 million naira has been disbursed to 292 orphanages. And as promised in my first statement, I've listed the attached names of the orphanages who have benefited. And so you, in subsequent, once you saw some of the monies that were sent to, and the names of the orphanages.
If you go to Twitter, he's screenshotted all the various areas, all various regions of Nigeria, and the various names of the orphanages.
And how much has gone to them?
And in case you're wondering how much 250 million naira is, that's almost 3.9 million Ghana cedis.
Yes.
That's a heck of a lot of money. It's about 440,000 pounds sterling. A heck of a lot of money. So
it's a lot
big
of
ups
money.
to him for doing
so
a good job.
He's getting like massive pats on the back on social media. People are saying he kept his word and he did what he said he would do. Of course, the skeptics who are always around are also saying, but we have to, the orphanages have to come out and confirm that they received them. Please.
You gotta love Davido.
Nobody built a statue.
This is where I say, mommy.
Nobody have you seen any statue anywhere where a critic was celebrated? Forget those people, man.
That's why I say, mommy, please. So Davido has done what he said he would do. Kiddies in the news. He's released a new video for his Touch It remix, and
he got a tiger on there.
Is it too hot for the morning?
He got. No,
I'm looking at Valerie because now I want to see what her thoughts are.
He got a tiger on there.
Okay,
that's big.
Who is Tiger?
Wow. Tiger is an American rapper, huge one. Okay. And to have him on your record, but
okay. Tiger is Lackland.
We'll play that video so that you can enjoy it. But that's what's trending across social media platforms. Of course, some of these stories will find their way into our headlines when CAF sits down with the Reverend and the Sheikh to look into the papers and online platforms and portals. So you would want to stay around for that. That is after Multity will bring you sports news at 7, and then CAF will sit with at that. For now, we are getting ready to do food issues, and I love food, so I love this segment. We are teaching you tips on how to use your leftover bread, and CAF will be doing that right after the break.
Yummy. Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
I am 7 years old. Beep, beep, beep. I am 4 years old.
We are 12 years old.
It's been 1 year since I started my antiretroviral treatment.
You can live a long, productive life with antiretroviral treatment. With antiretroviral treatment, HIV-positive expectant mothers can have healthy HIV-negative babies. Go to the nearest health center, test and know your HIV status. If you are positive, ask about antiretroviral treatment and receive help. Antiretroviral treatment is your only option for a long and fulfilling life.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
Shirin Malaria 360 muke ci gaba da kawo muku. Hanyar guda inda za mu kiyaye kanmu da samun malaria shine kwana a cikin insecticide treated nets ko kuwa gidan soro da aka sa mishi magani da ke kashe sauraye. Kowane dare da cikin daren duka insecticide treated nets ya kiyaye ka kin samun malaria. Shi yasa ka samu insecticide treated nets sanye cikin inuwa kwana 2 sannan kai kwana cikin. Iya dauda ka wanke da sabulu da bakin shi bai da karfi. Iya nyage kana ya dunke da allura da igiya. Ka bi kan dokokin da gwamnati ya haje domin kiyayewan COVID-19. COVID-19 ciwo ne da ya zo mana. Malaria yana cikin kashe mutane. Karewan malaria ya fara da ni da kai. Malaria 360 gidan maganganun malaria.
Obeda. Tabia takum, wedi a mema yedro no, a me nya hoden, ani hoden ye, aye memedro, anu ti na berme bia hia bi no, aye memedro ma berme bia wedi mfie di wotwe ko. Bi ofedi du etu aton bia, enko chemical shops, pharmaceuticals, ani herbal shops bia. E wo Ghana hanum be bia. Anase fraying, e wo 0243 686861 and 0245 749206.
FDA ajisa echodi nkatu yatu.
Kaise tabia takum ye, bemme bia ye takum.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Hi, welcome to the show. Have a pebble. Enjoy life. I'm talking about pebbles and food. It's a conversation right now on food and what to do with leftover stuff. Remember, at 7 o'clock we have the breakfast sports, and at 7:15 we have headlines. I'll be sitting down with the men of the spirit, Sheikh Arimiya Shaibu and Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete. But for now, we're going to give you tips on how to recycle. All right? So you open your fridge and you see lots of bread, and you don't know what quite to do with it. Today I've got an expert to show you what to do with the bread that is sitting in your fridge that needs to be worked on. And my guest is Lady Thelma Boy. She's the CEO of the College of Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. Last week she showed me how to do a small salad, and today she's doing bread things. Thelma, hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Alrighty. Okay, so since we're talking about bread this morning, let's cut straight to the chase. So, no matter how long you want to keep bread, it tends to get stale quite quickly.
Yeah.
Why is that so?
Because it's the moisture that is just being absorbed out of it. So it's the moisture that coming out of it that makes it stale. Yes, so that's why bread goes bad.
You're big on moisture, Pam.
Yes, moisture is an animal food sometimes. So yeah, it causes a lot of problems for food.
Okay. So supposing you have all this bread in the fridge and you don't really know what to do, that's exactly what we're going to do to today's recipe. What's the recipe about today?
It's bread and butter pudding.
Bread and butter pudding.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, you could use some of your leftover bread to make breadcrumbs, which I have here, which I'll show you. You could add it to your mincemeat to making burgers. You could also use the pane. Pane is simply coating it with either protein, chicken or fish, and frying it. Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the methods you could use with bread. Yes.
Okay. All right. So you want to show us something?
Yes.
Immediately?
Yes.
We're not going to waste time at all.
Yes.
So while you are doing, then I'll be talking.
Sure.
And if you need my help, call me.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
I thought you were going to be my helper.
Okay, so I should come over right now.
Enjoy what we did last week. So
All right.
Yes.
So I can come, yeah?
Yes, you can,
Okay,
sir.
I'm coming over.
Okay, please. Thank you. Thank you. So this is our bread. I'm just going to take the wrapper off. Okay. This is about 2-3 days. That's what stale bread is.
Stale bread, okay.
Yes.
So this bread is stale?
Yes, it's
Okay,
stale.
okay.
So we'll take, you could either use margarine or I tend to like butter because butter tastes better.
Okay, all right. For those of you who are not too sure what you're talking about, you can say butter.
Butter tastes better.
Butter, yeah, butter tastes better.
Yes.
But butter tastes better.
Yes. So with this, we're just going to
coat it
with butter.
Okay.
Yes.
Butter.
Butter.
Okay.
You told me that. The guy in me will come out.
Yeah. Butter fuel.
Butter fuel. Well, down all small butter. So we just put it on.
Okay.
Okay.
Both sides or just one side?
Both sides.
Okay. So can I be doing some coating?
Please do some coating.
Yeah. So the back as well?
Yes, please.
All right. Okay. So we're putting some butter on it.
And whilst you do that, I'm gonna make my custard.
Man, I hated custard when I was growing up. I don't know why.
Custard simply means our eggs with our milk.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
This is my milk. So this is our milk. So I need, and one thing about eggs.
Why?
Because when I go out, you're not supposed to keep eggs in the sun. So sometimes when I see people selling eggs and they have it in the sun, oh my God.
What's happening if you keep your eggs in the sun?
Well, it deteriorates faster. It's better to have it in the refrigerator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better to have it in the refrigerator.
All right.
And when you put it in the refrigerator, you have to make sure that you put it in the container like this.
Okay.
Eggs are very porous. Porous means whatever you put it in, it will absorb the what do you call it?
Whatever is around it.
Whatever is around it.
Okay. So you're cracking 2 eggs?
4 eggs.
4 eggs.
Yes,
Okay.
I made a mess, so please bear with me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take some off.
I'm going to get some tissue over.
Okay.
Yes.
I appreciate that. So I'm gonna just take the shell that I made.
So you cracked 4 eggs?
Yes, I cracked 4 eggs.
Okay. I've buttered the bread already.
Yes. Okay. We need one more. 1 more eggs.
Okay.
Okay.
And so this is
quickly.
Okay.
I'll take my milk.
Okay. Do I whisk the eggs?
Yes, please. No, I don't want to waste too much. I don't want to put too much air in it.
Okay.
I just want to mix it. So I'm going to add the milk to it.
Okay.
Milk. Can you open this for me?
All right. So in case somebody just joined us, what are we making?
Bread and butter
Pudding.
Pudding. You make me very conscious saying
okay.
butter.
Okay.
Okay. Bread and butter.
So this is hot water?
Yes, warm water.
Warm water.
So you need 500,
okay,
which is 1 meal.
All right.
Okay. Then you will need 2 tablespoons
of sugar.
Of sugar.
All right.
Which is about 50 grams. Add a little bit to it.
Okay.
And this is vanilla extract. There's essence and it's extract. This is the essence. This is like manufactured. It's like imitation.
Okay.
But this is the real McCoy.
Real McCoy. Real deal.
Yes. Smell it.
Make a smell.
And then smell this one. Just for people to know. See?
Yeah. This is.
Yes.
This is the deal.
So we can put like one.
So extract.
Extract. It's been extracted from the real vanilla pot.
Okay.
Okay. Then we'll just lightly whisk.
Then you pour that in.
I'll pour that in.
Okay. So this is the beginning of the custard?
Yes, this is the beginning of the custard. So we've done that. We have everything. Now we are ready to make the custard.
Okay.
Okay. So my pudding bread and pudding bowl. Okay.
So what are you going to do now?
So I'm just going to divide
the bread
into two.
Okay. Yeah.
Going to divide it
into 2. And then that one.
Then I'll just take a little bit of the margarine.
Okay. It's right here. Doesn't matter, butter or margarine, doesn't matter. And you use it to coat the bowl.
The pie dish.
Okay.
We call it pie dish.
Okay.
Okay. So you coat it like this. Then you put sultanas, where is it? Or raisins.
Okay.
At the bottom.
Put them at the bottom.
Yes. Put them in the bottom.
And then you put the bread in it.
Then I forgot one more thing. I have to.
What is this?
Nutmeg.
Nutmeg.
Yeah.
Okay.
I take a pinch of it.
And put it inside the egg and the milk and the water.
For flavor.
All right.
Yes. So we arrange. It's going to be 2 bread.
So you cut it small. You want the bread to fit inside the pie dish.
Yeah, pie dish.
Okay.
So
one.
Do it. 1.
Okay, show the people.
2.
Okay. All right.
3. And we're going to need 1 more.
Okay.
4.
So let me just show them what it looks like. So that's with the sultanas and the nutmeg inside, and then you have the bread.
Yeah. And so this is our custard.
Okay.
That I made.
You're going to pour this on top?
I'm going to pour this on top.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
And because it's, what do you call it? It's stale, you have to leave this for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, for it to absorb the liquid. Then you bake it in something called a bain-marie, which I have here. So basically what you do is, you take
one space.
This, yes, please. You put it here. Like this. You will put hot water. Don't use cold water. If you use cold water, when you put it in the oven, it has to heat up first before it starts the cooking process.
Okay.
So if you use hot water, you put hot water in there. You put it in the bain-marie. It's called the bain-marie. Then
you cover it or just put it in the oven?
No, just put it in the oven. Just after you do this, when it's about to be put in the oven, you just sprinkle a bit of sugar on it so it browns, then give it color.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, can I have a tissue?
Tissue? There's some tissue here. Yeah.
So we are going to show you how it will come out.
Okay.
I have one already
okay,
made.
you've done what that was made already.
Yes.
Okay, I was wondering how you're going to speed up time.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So after you've baked it, this is what it looks like.
So this is what it looks like.
Oh wow.
Our bread and butter pudding, and I'm going to dish.
You did this today?
Yes, this morning. I woke up early.
What?
It smells good. It's warm. It's delicious.
This
and my foodie.
Oh wow.
I don't know how to. Can you help me with this, please?
Yes. You want me to open that?
Yes, please.
Stop sniffing and open. Okay.
So we're going to play this. So we take this.
Oh, this is ice cream.
Yes, I'm gonna.
You're gonna ice cream to this?
Yes. Today, this is strawberry and blueberry compost. It's just strawberry, blueberry, have the sugar, a bit of nutmeg to it, and I just cooked it up.
Okay.
So strawberry and blueberry compost at the bottom, like this. At home, if you don't have it, it's not a deal breaker. You don't have to. I'm just going fancy today.
Okay, so I wish we could see what's happening here right now, because this is, so you put the strawberry blueberry compost there, then you put the pie on it.
Yes.
The pudding on it.
Pudding on it.
Okay.
Then I'm just gonna take.
And you put some ice cream on it.
Ice cream on it.
Charlie, ice cream in the morning for breakfast.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not?
Yes, we just, so.
Hey, ice cream in the morning.
So we canal it a little bit. Just
wow.
Make it a little fancy.
Make it fancy?
Yes.
Presentation is the key.
We go like this.
Okay.
Put
wow. And then you can use your tissue to take away the guy.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Presentation is key.
I made a mess.
Okay, good.
Okay. Then we'll put a little bit of our compost on it.
Ooh.
And this is our bread and butter pudding with compost and ice cream. And
What?
I'm sure.
You want me to taste?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
I want you to taste.
So the ingredients again. So it's stale bread.
Stale bread with egg and milk.
Egg and milk.
Yeah.
And you form that kind of custard.
Yes.
With eggs,
and
some milk. You put some sugar in it. You put some nutmeg.
Nutmeg essence. Extract in it.
Okay.
And that's it.
Warm water.
Warm water.
You pour it on.
Yes.
And then this is how it looked like.
This is what it looks like.
Before it was baked.
Yeah, because we are allowing this to absorb it or soak for 30 minutes before we put it in the oven.
And then when it was baked, this is what it looked like.
This is what it looks like.
And then you made a little compost with blueberry
and strawberry. Yes.
And then you added some ice cream on top. Okay. I sense Thelma coming over. You know, Thelma, when it's food, she's around. All right, so let me see. For what we're about to receive, we thank you, O Lord.
Amen.
For a guy who doesn't like custard, this is excellent.
Good.
You brought me to the world of. I don't like custard.
You don't like custard? Okay.
But this one, I'm dealing with it.
You're dealing with it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You can give Thelma some.
Oh, please, no, don't do that to my namesake.
For real?
Yes, please. Okay. But you shouldn't steal the plate this time. So just come and taste, but
this
not
is really
steal.
nice, you know, because I like the cold bit of the ice cream, and then the warm bit of the bread and butter pudding.
And the compost is tangy, a bit
it's
tangy.
So
it's
different.
An array of melodies in your mouth.
Melodies in your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, and my children cook, so they'll be loving this right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they cook every Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see, Thelma was actually come to eat some of the things. She's forgotten that she's supposed to be reading messages.
Oh.
She's come to eat my bread and come and read the messages. By the time you come, this thing is finished. What are the messages?
This is so unfair to me. This is so unfair to
There's
me.
more.
You see, now I know my director doesn't like me.
Come and read the messages.
Okay, you don't like me.
Read the messages.
05555561034. If you have leftover bread, you should re-watch this video on our Facebook page at a later time, so you know exactly. Perhaps make it tomorrow morning. See how you get on with it and send us some reviews. We'll follow it and we'll send them over to Thelma to assess your skills. Good morning. Wow, we'll definitely try this for my family. I hope kids can take it in the morning from Rhoda Kennedy.
They can, right?
They can. Great, Rhoda. So that's an idea you can try perhaps tomorrow. For me, I don't really have time for these processes, so maybe you just want to buy wache. Valerie is saying the exact same thing. Valerie says, can I just eat wache and be done with it?
No, this is great.
But in case you want to try something different, then this will definitely be for you. So you're saying thank you. So we have a mail list, and some of you can get on that train, and we'll definitely serve you some breakfast that you will enjoy. We've been looking at tips for how to use your stale bread, and that's what the messages are saying. So everybody just wants to have a taste of these things. So,
I'm e-tasting for them, don't worry.
You are e-tasting.
I'm e-tasting it.
So how about we e-send
them
this
yes.
to some of you,
yeah.
And then you can also tell us what you think. Thanks for messaging us, by the way. I'll hand it over back to Kaf. And my namesake, Thelma, you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is, the baking takes 30 minutes.
Yes,
and so this is something where maybe if you have about 40 minutes, you can actually do this, and the kids can take
it to school.
Have
it for breakfast on weekends.
Okay.
Yes.
Is bread that flexible? What else can you do with bread? I'm sure you have other recipes you can show us. I'm sure if we give you another opportunity, you could give us another bread recipe. So what else can you do with stale bread?
Stale bread? Well, mostly it's like the paneing. You could use, if it's really going, you could make breadcrumbs, like this one, like I showed you. This is plain, it's here.
So how do you make the breadcrumbs?
Oh, so it's stale bread, then you put it in a food processor, and you blend it.
But do you have to grill the bread for it to be hard?
You have to. Stale bread, it has to be hard.
Okay.
Yes. So it's like stale bread's been like 5 to 6 days old.
Okay.
When almost all the moisture has been taken out of it. Yeah. That's what we use for stale bread.
And then you just blend it in the blender.
Yeah, and it's like this.
Okay.
So it comes out like this. I don't know if I'm showing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it comes
nice.
out like this. Yeah.
Please, you know what? If you don't prepare another serving for Thelma, you don't have a plate. We'll get a plate. A plate is going to come, so we can prepare one. So that she can not kill me because I didn't give her some of the bread pudding. So So apart from leftover bread, or let's stick with bread. So you pane it like this, and then it can, how long can this last?
This one?
Yes.
You could be in the fridge for a week.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you just cover it and keep it in the fridge for a week.
Okay.
And warm it in the microwave.
Okay.
And have it. You can have it by yourself. You don't have to make it all this fancy. You can just have it. Take some to work and eat it. Have it with you.
I've seen bread that now has all kinds of colors. It's kind of getting green. Is that too late?
Yes. That's
so it shouldn't get too mold. Okay. So maybe a 2-day, 3-day bread.
3 days bread, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the best way to preserve bread? You keep it on the dining table or you put it in the fridge?
I put it in the fridge.
Put it in the fridge.
Yeah, because it's already in the plastic bag, so that will draw up moisture in it, which will make it, like I said, moisture, which will make it go sweat it and make it go moldy. That's where you get the green on it, and no, you don't want that. So keep it in the fridge.
In the freezer, they buy bread maybe on a Saturday, and they keep it there in the freezer.
Yes, yeah, you could do it that way. If you want to keep it for a long time, so let's buy 4 loaves. You put 1 in the fridge and wrap it and put the rest 3 in the refrigerator. So if you say you want to use it the next day, just put it back in the fridge. By the time you wake up in the morning, it's already thawed and you can use it. So yeah, it's a good way of. And bread, next time maybe I'll show you how to make bread, because making bread is so easy to make.
Oh, you make your own bread?
You can make your own bread.
Okay.
So next time maybe we'll do that. Make your own bread, and with bread you get. That's the base for pizza, so you could have that with your kids, and on weekends they could have their own toppings and stuff. Make it more interactive. Include the kids in there.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Very important.
So with the bread, so with Ghana we have tea bread, we have sugar bread, we have butter bread. For this pudding, what's the best kind of bread you can use? Or brown bread? You use butter bread. What's the reason?
Well, butter is, I want something that is more rich. Yes. So when you if you're on a bit of this one is not for anybody who's on a diet. If you're on a diet, you will not be eating this.
Okay, there's a lot.
Yes, there's a lot. But if you want to indulge a little bit, why not use this?
All right.
Then you taste what it's supposed to be and enjoy it.
Okay.
Yes.
Brown bread?
You can use brown bread. Why not?
Okay.
You can use brown bread. You can use brown bread. It doesn't stop you from making it.
So give us the recipe again, the process again. So we start with, what are the ingredients that we need?
Okay, we need eggs. We have our milk. We have our sugar. Our extract, our nutmeg, butter. Where's our butter? Butter is there.
Go ahead.
You need our butter, and that's about it. Basically, that's it.
And then you start with.
You crack the eggs. You add the milk, your sugar, the essence, the nutmeg. In the meantime, you will have your bread. You butter the bread. Then you will put it in the dish pie. Yes. Then you arrange the bread. First, you have to put like raisins at the bottom. Gives you extra flavor. Yeah. Texture. Then you pour it all over it. Then you allow it to sit, and you put it. This is called a bain-marie, because custard needs gentle application of heat. Moderate, yes. Because what does happen? It coagulates. You don't want it.
It gets thick.
It gets thick. It comes together. It firms up. But you still want this to not to firm up. So the by putting the bain-marie, it's like you've hired a lawyer. So instead of the heat cooking it, it's now going to be the steam from the hot water that's going to bake it.
Okay.
If you put it directly, it will coagulate too quickly.
All right.
So like say you hire a lawyer. What's the lawyer? Is the hot water and in the bain-marie.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay, great stuff. I mean, these are great tips. And there are messages coming in on 055-556-1034. Do they want to eat taste?
Eat taste is a good. Frank, good morning. Please start packing your suitcase for this weekend's rendezvous with the missus. He says, good morning, Honorable Kaf and Dr. Thelma.
Oh my goodness.
Side of in fact, GTVBFS must make a composite show in Ghana. If I were an MP, I'd definitely make a push in Parliament to meet Hunter Francoba. And this is a hilarious one, by the way. Another leftover bread recipe local people make is called pan or kose. You know what that is? So they take the bread and they dip it in the kose butter and fry.
Oh, okay.
Just like when people put kose in the bread and they eat. So
that's 1 million
good
calories.
Shout, wow. I like this.
I mean as you eat that one, you'll be growing fat as you eat that one.
Yes.
Man. That's like 1 million calories, man.
I think I'll task Thelma to find a weight loss alternative to this goodness. Kaf has just cleaned the plates.
Yes.
Look, can the camera just take how Kaf, who doesn't like custard, has finished, wiped the plates clean?
Only a fool doesn't change his mind. I've changed my mind now. I love custard. Custard loves me.
Yes.
So, he said, BFS, thank you very much. This is very economical because it's minimal ingredients, and you can. Please, what's the weight loss alternative? So you say you can use wheat bread, which is good, but I'm just wondering, what you can incorporate to make this a more, you know, appropriate meal or joy for weight loss people.
Instead of it's going to be difficult.
Okay, so you find it the next time you come, perhaps
I'll do my research.
So, Joel Lawson from Takrady, I'm very interested, and I feel the manner this kitchen teaches us more and nice, good,
delicious meals.
The man is just, you know, having a great time. Madam, I love your work. So, all good reviews on this side, and the fact that you've the empty plate just worries me.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But I'll hand it over back to you.
No. I mean, when we were growing up, they said, finish your food. Finish your food.
Yeah.
So this one, I dedicated to my late mom, who was a great cook. And she says, finish your food. Finish your food. I said, Mom, now I eat custard. Yeah. All right. So give us a quick word with respect to leftover bread.
Okay. What I'll say is, don't throw your leftover bread away. I've shown you one way of making it. If not for nothing, you could make breadcrumbs out of it and put it in the freezer. Whenever you need it, you could take it out and use it. So that's my final tip.
All right. So that's a lady, Thelma Boy.
Yes.
And tell us about your organization again. You are the CEO
of College of Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. Yes,
okay.
We are in Kotobabi.
Okay.
My IG handler is Lady Thelma Boy.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And we are on Facebook too.
Okay.
GoCam.
GoCam.
That's the acronym for the school.
Okay, GOCAM.
Yes.
So look for GOCAM, GoCam on Facebook, and look for Lady Thelma Boy, BOYE.
Yes.
All right, on Instagram. I'm following her now. After this custard, I'm following her. All right.
A lady who's a boy. So.
But this is beautiful. So coming up next is Breakfast Sports with Maltiti, who is looking very longingly at the. And that's a Valerie. I don't even know, Charlie. She's like Cafe Y. So we're coming up after this is the Breakfast Sports, and then we have headlines at 7:15. You stay with us. It's a delicious morning, and I was just like, call. See you soon. Sports next.
GBC Studio One. This is the Breakfast Show.
The show was a jar oba any unconcron dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat.
Woman malaria and kawan to them. Lufat, a malaria drop a cope.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a 2 malaria sententem. FDA, I should say a dead in Kratway.
Thank you for staying on. This is Breakfast Sports. I am Maltiti Saida Sadek. We'll be looking at women's football as well as how Liverpool trashed Inter Milan yesterday, and also we'll be looking at the UCL. Let's start off with the Women's FA Cup, and the draw for the Women's FA Cup round of 32 will take place at 3 p.m. today. 32 teams have qualified for this round after winning their respective matches in the preliminary round of the competition. 16 matches are expected to be played, and balloting will be on regional basis. The draw, which was originally scheduled for yesterday, was cancelled due to the live coverage of the Women's Premier League. Meanwhile, Faith Ladies beat Police Ladies 2-0 in their league fixture yesterday. Here are highlights of some of the games that were played early on. Now, Ghana defender Portia Boache has been ruled out of action for the coming months due to a knee injury. The Swedish club Germain officially ruled her out yesterday since sustaining the injury during a pre-season. Now, Djurgården physiotherapist Anna Falby said Portia's rehabilitation has gone according to plan, but due to the severity of the knee injury, she will not be available for play in the next few months. The 32-year-old moved to Djurgården in 2018 and has made over 60 appearances in the league, scoring 1 goal. Still on women's football, the Africa Women's Championship second round is on, and yesterday some of the games that were played, Burundi beat Djibouti by 6-1. Zambia and Namibia had a 0 score. Guinea-Bissau and Burkina Faso had a Guinea-Bissau beat Burkina Faso by 6-0. Senegal beat Mali by 1-0. Let's look at our after AFCON updates now. And Iguavon, Nigeria's coach Augustine Iguavon and his assistant Emmanuel Amunike have held meetings with Super Eagles players in London ahead of the crucial 2022 World Cup playoffs against regional rivals Ghana. And key amongst them was former England under-21 international Demola Lookman. Lookman, who won the World Cup at under-20 level with the Young Lions in 2017, recently received a change of nationality from FIFA, clearing him to represent the Super Eagles at the senior level. Other players who attended the meeting were Kelechi Iheanacho and Wilfred Ndidi, together with Watford quarter William Truss Ekong, Ogini Karo Etebo, Emmanuel Nis, and Samuel Kalu. Now, Liverpool maintained their 100% UEFA Champions League record after a decisive 2-0 win at San Siro. Inter Milan played their hearts out through a Roberto Firmino goal. Then in the 83rd minute, Mo Salah recorded his 8th goal of the UEFA Champions League.
Elio.
As Bayern Munich needed a late equalizer to avoid a shock last 16 first leg defeat against Red Bull Salzburg. Wenger, Kingsley Coman hit the net the far post minutes and converted following Thomas Muller's flick. Before then, Salzburg substitute Chukwubueka Adamu had netted the opener with a delightful curling finish into the corner. The hosts could have nicked a second at 1-0, but Karim Adeyemi's shot was saved and Adamu's follow-up was blocked. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Good morning, my neighbors.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling healthy.
A la carte. Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate chicken vegetables. So in my lifetime, I haven't seen Ghana Black Stars being an African country.
Can I show what is written on the back?
Yes, definitely.
Where's the camera?
Just stand and turn.
So what's your pleasure than Votras, yeah? At that time of the morning. So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
We've got you covered with a trusted team.
From GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show.
Good morning. It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
So what's your pleasure? Samvotrasia at that time of the morning.
You want it served buffet style, complimentary breakfast?
On-site restaurant.
Or room service?
We've got you covered.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
With a trusted team.
So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
Coming live from the capital, this is The Breakfast Show.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate.
Coming live from the capital, this is The Breakfast Show.
Hi, 17th February 2022. This is Breakfast. Still to come, the headlines at about 7:15, and then in the next hour we have the scoop with the Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Ofosu Samoa, and then chit-chat with Ofori Ampansa in the last hour of the show. But before that, we've got some breaking news we want to share with you, and my colleague Daryl Alan Tego is on the ground to speak to us, and we shall be getting through to him to find out exactly what is going on. Our WhatsApp number is 055-556-1034, 055-556-1034, hashtag GTV Breakfast, and we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. Can we go to Daryl Alan Tego right now to see exactly what's going on? If not, let me just tell you about a conversation that will be happening in the next hour. We're looking at issues with the National Labour Commission, and we're looking at various issues. I mean, what happens when employees and employers have disputes? What the NLC does is what we're looking at. But now let me go to the grounds and speak with Alan. Alan, hi, good morning. Hi, Alan, where are you? What can you report?
Hi, good morning, Kafui. Yeah. Well, if you can hear me, I think we're having a little break, but then this is it. I'm currently behind the Awudome Cemetery, and so if you know your way around Awudome and Kaneshie, if you're coming from the back of the Kaneshie market or from the Awudome roundabout to a very unusual intersection behind the cemetery before you can either make your way in between the two cemetery walls or you make your way towards the industrial area end. And my camera is panning around to take it. Driving towards the Awudome roundabout this morning, we came to this intersection with the presence of an MTTD person directing traffic. What we're told happened was the Aboboya you can see in the distance got here and failed to stop, even though the MTTD officer has asked them his particular intersection to stop. He failed to stop, and so the lady driving the 4x4 behind us, the Toyota Highlander, which is somehow jackknifed onto a lamp post, was also driving across because she's been waved to come on by the police officer and didn't see the Aboboya in time. And so just when she saw her, out of panic, she actually waved her hand off in order to avoid hitting the aboboya, which in fact failed because she managed to hit the aboboya somehow and then hit the gutter and then jumped onto the lamppost. What is very interesting is the fact that there were other motorbike riders at the intersection as well who got hit by the Highlander, and so 2 men on a motorbike, even though had nothing to do with the actual accident as it occurred, rather got hit. And so there is very surely you will see in your shot a man visibly shaking, bleeding somehow, seated by the woman who was driving the driving the 4x4 Highlander. This young man is being seated and waiting for some time for an ambulance, and so we're pleading with the ambulance service, whichever one is closer to us at the Awudome intersection, to make their way here with helping these victims to hospital. The young man you can see in your shot is hurt. The woman seated next to him may be the driver of the 4x4. She is also very visibly shaking and has been teary all this while since we've been at this point. The 2 men on the side who are injured, they have leg injuries and head injuries, are still waiting for an ambulance to help evacuate them to a hospital. We'll be very grateful if the ambulance service, anyone closest to us, either from the Koko Clinic end or the Kaneshie Polyclinic end, to assist us at the Awudome cemetery to assist in evacuating them. This has been the situation at the Awudome cemetery intersection, right behind the Kaneshie market or towards the North Industrial area. It's an accident at the intersection involving a car, and the police are here helping to get traffic flowing and also assist the victims of the accident to get whatever they need. These tow truck has joined us as I report to bring help move the car that's jackknifed onto the lamppost so that traffic will be free flowing.
So much. You stay safe.
Yes, I tried speaking to them, and the policeman on the scene actually told me that they have actually tried to get help to evacuate them to a hospital. What there is a certain confusion as to whether who will bear the cost if the ambulance is called to the scene, or who is going to transport them and in what car. And I suspect because the young man is bleeding, some are a bit skeptical in getting him into their car to help him to a hospital. But one of the key questions that kept coming up, even from the police, is who will bear the cost of transporting them from the accident scene to a hospital. Yet another issue with ambulance and payments.
Okay, hey, Alan, thank you so much for that report, reporting to us from the Awudome Cemetery area where there's been an accident involving a Highlander and aboboya. And these aboboyas are a real menace. I encounter them every day, and they are coming to you like a shadow. You know, no lights at the time of the day that I drive. And it's just, I wonder what kind of license they use, what kind of regulation is being used on them, who is riding these vehicles. Real bother, real menace. And we just are happy that nobody died, but people are injured and traumatized, and we know that help will come soon and then things will be rectified. But thanks very much, Alan, for that conversation. We're going straight into the headlines. My guests are, we're watching with interest that story that was reported. Dr. Lawrence Tete, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete, founder president of the Worldwide Miracle Outreach, and Sheikh Armia Shaibu, who speaks for the National Chief Imam. Shalom, salam alaikum to both of you, gentlemen.
Shalom and salam alaikum.
Good to see you. Quick comments on that before we jump to the stories.
Yeah, my worry is the question that arose with respect to who bears the cost of somebody's losing life, somebody's traumatized. Yeah. So what is the mechanism? I think that there is a certain hotline for ambulance services so I feel uncomfortable that even a policeman at the scene of accident will even raise this question
of who is paying.
Of who is paying.
Yeah. We had this conversation about
there is an ambulance service. So who triggers that process in terms of communication that something like this has happened and quickly to save life.
Exactly.
I mean, we quickly have to get there. I have traveled to London, and look, at the scene of accident, the question is not who is at fault at that time.
Or who is going to pay.
Who is going to pay. Quickly an ambulance have off the road. No traffic goes until they have saved that life.
Exactly.
These are a part of the world where the value is associated with life. Life. If you go advanced countries, first in life. But here we're talking about money first.
Money first.
Oh, God.
I feel your frustration. Dr. Tete.
It's very frustrating for those of us who have lived outside. I had an accident in the UK, right on the London Bridge. A lady, I think she was a little bit drunk and hit into my car at the back. And of course I got down and she was at fault. But the first thing that happened was that the ambulance came to pick her up because she has panicked. So even before we got into how she hit the back of my car, we did that. We seem to be losing sight of the value of life, and it's not right. And we need to inculcate this into the mindset of people. People don't even know.
No.
People don't even know what their rights are. They don't know. And the things we call rights in this country, rather, are things we should be protecting.
Exactly.
And that is a sad thing. Then our intellectual capacity, the people that you expect to know better, will rather come up with certain jargons that would rather confuse the citizenry. This is something that we should take very serious, and Ghanaians should not take this for granted. I think I'm happy with this news this morning.
Yes, indeed.
I'm very happy with this news this morning. I think we need to congratulate GTV for getting on the spot to even getting it. The sad thing is the way we even expose the lady and the victim.
They are sitting under a tree.
They are seated.
I mean, after a very traumatic thing like an accident, which could have killed somebody, that woman, they must be shaking like a leaf.
Yes.
You know, just thanking God nobody had died. Because it becomes a whole new ball.
And the Aboboya, I think, look, they are causing so much havoc. But let me be courageous to say that if you make an attempt now to say want to regulate, because somebody will take advantage and say, I mean,
people must eat.
You may go school. You see, it is not a reason why you should behave the way you are doing.
No.
For everything, when there must be order, there must be framework that ensures the order. That's why you must have a license. That's why when you are coming out, your car must be in a certain state and so on and so forth. Now, if this gentleman can be riding anyhow, I have escaped an accident before. I was driving on the Takoradi Road towards Takwa. Yeah. And all of a sudden, this tricycle, just wanting to just cross, would never even look behind him. Only God saved me. I was a bit courageous to just veer off him, so that then I went yonder and stopped, look at my back, whether he smashed my back, got broken. Yeah. So I stopped. I was traumatized, so I wanted to see whether, because if I hit him, my duty was to stop and make sure. And I was going to see my old lady, so I was thinking so much about what was going to stop me from getting home and then have to make sure this. So when I look back, he was driving away. I mean,
he just went off. We are going to the first story, but my last comment on this is, I wonder what the men of God say when somebody misbehaves like that. Because I know that if it's me or Thelma or Valerie, insults relating to people's mother's private parts may almost come out. But I wonder, do you feel like saying something? Dr. Tete, do you feel like just putting the Osofokola aside and just
I think
bringing out the guy in you?
Once you're a human, every now and then it's like, oh, but this is where we are. I think we have to wake up to a reality.
Wild words.
No, not to use wild words. You see, because those of us, we are also not perfect.
Yes, indeed.
We are also not perfect. But those of us who want to remain, focused on this thing, that's why we must be praying for God's wisdom.
Indeed.
So that, you see, you speak to people's mind and spirit.
Yeah.
That when you speak, they will see sense in what you say and get guided.
Not rather escalate.
So we don't get arrogant and think we are 100% righteous, and so we just come at you and pass judgment on you.
Okay.
Just think about other people's life.
Just think about other people's lives. That's the comment right here from my guests, Sheikh Shaibu and Reverend Dr. Tete. You're welcome to the headlines for the 17th of February 2022. Our WhatsApp number is 055 556 1034. You can comment on that accident and any of the other issues we'll be dealing with this morning. I want to start with Reverend Dr. Tete because this concerns with former President Mahama. A lot of issues went down in that meeting. He was quite forthright with them. One of the quotes I heard him say was that he was happy that the clergy had woken up to what was going on in the country. But I'll read a couple of lines from a conversation that he had with the clergy who came to visit him. We will continue to oppose e-levy, Mahama declares, says minority MPs are not timid to allow unconstitutionality to thrive. He has justified the fight that occurred in Parliament over e-levy, saying the lawmakers were not expected to sit timidly to allow unconstitutionality to pass in the House. He told the clergy who visited him that the Constitution is clear on how proceedings should be conducted in Parliament. Therefore, setting aside the right procedure was always going to raise eyebrows. Quote, if you get the details of our concerns, you understand the views from where we are coming from. I do think this meeting is timely. It's good to hear from all sides. And then he said, by the time you have heard what we have to say, you realize that the problem is much deeper than what you think. That is why I've brought some of the MPs. That fight was a fight for democracy. There's no way a speaker can sit in the chair, relinquish the chair, let somebody else come and sit and take a role in something that he has presided over. He talked about how the fact that the Constitution was clear on that, and he spoke quite forthrightly and quite directly to the clergy. Is that the kind of talk you want to hear from people in authority, where they can speak their minds very boldly, no sugarcoating, directly but politely?
I think that we must call a spade a spade. I must say, though, that I've had a chance to meet with all the sitting presidents in the Fourth Republic, and they've been very forthright.
They speak to you clearly,
yeah,
directly.
They've been very forthright, and I think that is what it's supposed to be anyway. They are members of the churches. If you look at the leadership, most of them, the presidents become a member of a particular church. The vice president is a Muslim, and so when they meet, that's is there. And I think I like the fact that he was able to speak him out rather than being a hypocrite about what he feels and things. Because whether we like it or not, I keep saying this thing, political power is transient. Very powerful today will not be powerful tomorrow. But the church, the clergy, the cleric will always be there. So we need to put a place on them. The only problem I have sometimes is that when the church speaks its mind, or the religious leadership speak its mind, people sort of put us in a box, and that is not fair.
Political box.
Except that, yes, except that when they are in trouble like this, then they see the value of the religious leadership. And that is where we should all be waking up to, because the religious leadership is also getting wising up now. Some time ago, maybe you can just bluff and rattle yourself around us, but this time around, we've woken up to reality. So remember, you need a church. Okay. And the thumb of the church is more powerful. In fact, the biggest we have is a religious leadership.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'll get your comments on this later on, Sheikh. I want to just jump into a story that is on the front page of today's Daily Graphic, and it's a Parliament committee indicts health minister in vaccine procurement. It's on page 18 of the graphic. Couple of lines, and then I'll get on the line and speak with a gentleman who was going to be chatting on this. So the ad hoc committee of Parliament that was set up to investigate the contract agreement between the government and the private office of Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Al Maktoum for the procurement and supply of 300,000 Sputnik V vaccines at the unit cost of $19 per dose has stated that the Minister of Health erred in signing the agreement, and they want the minister removed from his position as Minister of Health. Ranking member of the Health Committee of Parliament, Mr. Kwame Minta Akando, is on the line right now to give us a bit more detail. Mr. Akando, welcome to GTV Breakfast. If you can hear me, Mr. Kwame Minta Akando, ranking member of the Health Committee of Parliament, we would like to have a chat with you on this particular issue. Good morning. Okay, while we're trying to raise him, I'll just give you a couple of details on the story. So, if you remember, this thing was procured at a unit cost of $19 per dose. The committee noted that although the contract agreement was international in nature, in line with the Constitution, the health minister signed the agreement without seeking prior approval of Parliament, Cabinet, and the board of the Public Procurement Authority. You do remember that also the Office of the Special Procurement, Special Prosecutor is dealing with the former boss of the Public Procurement authority. So there are issues of procurement here. And so there are a number of issues with the money that was involved, the cost of the vaccines, the dealings with this Dubai minister, and the upshot of the conversation is that they want this gentleman to be removed from his position. Let's see whether we can get Mr. Kwame Baffoe on the line. Good morning. Mr. Akando, can you hear me? I think we're having some gremlins in our phone lines, but that basically is the issue. And if you want to get a copy of today's graphic, you will see what the story is about. Mr. Asantehemaa, who is responding to what the minority wants, says that although the work of the ad hoc committee, through the work of the ad hoc committee, the Ministry of Health was held to account. Mr. Akando, good morning. Welcome to GTV Breakfast.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Great. This is Mr. Kwame Baffoe. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you are the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you would like the health minister to lose his job. Is that correct?
That is too simplistic.
What do you want him to do? You want him to stay at post?
Hello?
Do you want him to remain in his post?
Not at all. He's incompetent. He doesn't fit to be there.
So you want him fired?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's simplistic about that?
The way you put it.
How should I have put
it? To lose his job.
How should I have put it?
Not to lose his job, but for Ghanaians to get the best of services.
Okay. So why? Tell us why.
Okay. So now I may have to take you through what has happened so far. We had a bipartisan committee constituted by the House, and then a lot of you followed the proceedings. We thought that even by now the Mr. President would have probably done the needful. But at the point in time, as you all recall, the President went to the Ghana-Guyana region and he was making mockery of Parliament as far as with regards to this Sputnik issue. So we completed our work as a bipartisan committee. We submitted the report to the House. We debated the report. And at the point of putting the vote, the second deputy speaker was presiding at the time. We had to declare the putting of the vote. Yesterday, the question was put. And the House adopted the committee's report by consensus. In fact, the report was agreed on by consensus at the bipartisan committee level, and yesterday adopted by the House by consensus. What it means is that the report has now become the property of the House. Now, let me take you through some of the damning findings in the report. Okay, the report stated that the minister reached Article 181 because he engaged in an international transaction without approval from Parliament. That has been established in the report. The report also stated that the price per dose for Sputnik 5 was supposed to be less than $10, but the minister bought it at $19 per dose. Fact in the report. The report also stated that the minister breached clauses 41 of the Public Procurement Act, which says that the minister sought the approval of the Public Procurement Authority. The report also says that the minister stated before the committee that he didn't consult cabinet. The report also stated that the minister before the House, before the committee under oath, said no money had been paid to Ahmed Al Maktoum. But at the conclusion of our findings or report, we realized that an amount of about $2.850 million, you can now convert dollars, had already been paid to that company.
Okay.
You know, so all these damning findings are in the report that has been adopted by the House by consensus.
Okay.
Now, as I have already stated, it was expected that the President would have taken a decision to relieve the man of office. have taken notice of the fact that the president is not ready to do that. So then, we will restore back to the law. Don't forget that the committee was a fact-finding committee.
Indeed.
I have heard arguments to the effect that the committee didn't recommend the sacking or the sanction of the minister. It doesn't lie with the committee. Indeed, even if the committee recommends in the report that the minister should be fired, there's nothing like that in our law.
So what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now, Mr. Kando? You've given us, thank you for the background, and you're not happy with his performance. What's going to happen?
After Article 82 of the 1982 Constitution, if you want to fire, if Parliament as an arm of government wants to fire a minister, you must file a motion to pass a vote of censure. So that's what we have done.
And after the vote of censure, what happens? What is triggered after that?
No, a vote of censure in itself is relieving of the man in question of his post.
So has he been relieved of his post?
It's a process. It's a trigger. It's a process. And if you want me to take you to the process, fine.
Yes. So what happens? You've done the vote of censure. What's the next process?
Now, we needed signatures of 1/3, not less than 1/3 of the total members of Parliament.
Okay.
And we have done it about 137 signatures for now.
The entire NDC membership?
Yes. Everybody's fine.
Yes.
So now the motion must start. We must start debating the motion within 7 days.
Okay.
It must not take more than 14 days to conclude the debate. Once the debate is concluded, another vote, which is the properly so-called the vote of censure, must be put. And we need 2/3 of the total number of MPs, members of Parliament, to succeed.
Now you know you're not going to get that those 2/3. You only got 137.
Why do you say that? When the motion was moved for the bipartisan committee, we didn't have any dissenting views. We agreed. When the committee, at the committee level, we agreed with by consensus with all these governments that they find it in the report.
Okay.
When it was submitted to the plenary, we had a consensus. And then we have adapted. So if those people who have adapted this committee's report, there's nothing wrong with it, I'll be amazed. I'll be very surprised. I'll be very surprised. And don't forget, this is going to be secret ballot.
Okay.
Yes, it's going to be secret ballot.
So you're confident. You're confident that you will get the numbers that you want.
In any case, you are a journalist. You know that Ghanaians have high interest in this matter, and they keep asking why this man is in office. So if you get to that level, and I do my part, and somebody thinks that he must be there, so be it. But I'm confident that the process we are doing is the right process, and we will succeed.
You need 183 votes or thereabouts that represents 2/3. You now have 137 in your bag. 183 minus 137, if my math serves me right, is 46. Where are you going to get those 46 extra votes from the majority?
We're not going to get them anywhere. We can't get them anywhere apart from Parliament.
So 46 people on the majority side are going to add to your voices to get the health minister kicked out?
Well, we will get there. We all know what will happen. We'll get them up. Were you not in this country when we had the speaker elected? Or you had traveled? How many were we? We were 137. And we did it more than 137 to elect the speaker. We had more than 137 to elect the speaker.
If you don't get the votes to get the health minister to leave his job, what do you do next? What will be your next line of action?
I have done my work. Members of Parliament who believe in the work, and I mean the posterity will judge all of us. If Mr. President thinks that such a man should be in office, so be it. Then Ghanaians will stop asking members of Parliament what happened. You know, if you are not very careful, Kafui, at a point in time, nobody would take Parliament serious. And people could ask, in see those own, I think we'll come back to see him. This one, where will it even lead to? We must not, reduce Parliament to that level.
You know, the health minister reports directly to the president. Are you seriously expecting the president to fire him?
No, sir, it's long overdue. I'm saying that the president should have done the needful.
No, that's your wish, but do you think it will happen realistically?
Well, as from where I sit and what I have seen the president himself do about this issue, realistically, I think that it will be very difficult for the president. Carefully, listen to me carefully. That is why some people believe that this health minister is just a smoke screen. They think that there's something more than it, and the health minister is just sacrificing himself to save some faces, and therefore they cannot do anything. You didn't hear at the point in time. I mean, the minister came to rebut it so, but there was this report in the system that if they dare fire him, he will speak like a parrot. Didn't you hear this allegation in the media? So these actions and inactions are leading credence to some of these things in speculation. You understand? So for me, how the president jokingly remarked on this serious matter in the Brong-Ahafo region leaves a lot to be desired.
We'll leave it here. Mr. Kwame Minta Akando is the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. No matter how he puts it, the upshot of the matter is that they don't want to see the health minister sit in his post. So whether he's going to be fired or relieved of his position or asked to leave the job, that is what is at stake right now. It's an issue that was brought up in yesterday's review, where the speaker was reminding or pleading with ministers to bring all international agreements to the House for the right things to be done. Let me start with the governor's economics, and then I'll get back to Sheikh. Dr. Tete, yeah, so issues in Parliament, showdown in Parliament.
I think governance. We have to really be realistic. There are rules and regulations. I mean, these committees are set up for definite and specific purpose. The terms of reference, what you do. When it should not be politicized. I am getting very worried about how we seem to be carrying out parliamentary issues. It's becoming very emotional and very personal. It should be devoid of that. Because when the people go to represent us in Parliament, they're supposed to be speaking the voice of the people, not to be so personal about issues. If this is what the consensus is, then let's carry it up to the very point, to the very root. Except that we seem to have selective views. We watch other parliaments. I can only make reference to the British Parliament. When there's a voting, it's very non-partisan. People vote on principles. We must be able to look and understand what values are. And if we begin to believe in values, then we'll be able to handle our issues in a very better way.
Okay. So two issues for you, Sheikh. I want to bite on the clergy meeting, the former president. Do the Muslim clergy also make those visits to see leaders? And then you can also talk about the vaccine issue.
No, when there is a national issue, we take decisions. Sometimes we send releases or press conferences to also, but on this particular case of the e-level, what is so disturbing about it is that it's been, the whole debate has been reduced into a partisan distance. And two parties are trying to use their numbers to prove what numbers can do in typically partisan fashion. That's exactly what is happening. Other than that, the matter of e-levy relates to taxes and how we mobilize funds able to be able to. As to whether there is the need for it now or there's no need for it now, whether it's appropriate or is inappropriate, the matter that must be put in the national context so that we say, and my worry, even if the way we are discussing it, is not, I will repeat it here, not to create a national mindset that is opposed to taxation. Because if we fail to handle it well, then anytime any government comes and there's a need for us to introduce taxes, because if you go to other countries, that is what they have been able to do, and they send monies down to us here to be able to do our things. So if there is this issue of profligate spending has come, and in quotes, how they are putting it, can we now bring those whole discussions into international context and have this thing? So for us, once it's been reduced more into a partisan distance, then one needs to be careful the way he even addresses the matter. So we will wait and see how we can only advise that let's discuss this thing in the light of our national interest and not the partisan thing.
Okay.
For us, that is the... And the other issue is... the
health ministers...
The health minister. You know, in some other advanced countries, once the thing is very, very clear, either the minister himself will resign.
Yeah.
And say, look, on matters of principle, I think this thing has happened and I think I don't want to remain in office. And that will be very, very honorable.
Okay.
Or a certain process is put in place. We, as people of within the religious circles, will not pass judgment, but I will only look at what are the procedures. Those procedures, are they personal? Are they just matters of principles? Yeah. So if the parliament has a procedure that they can trigger, and through that procedures, it is all in the interest of the nation that the minister is removed from office, or he is reassigned, or whatever. Yeah. I think that we should leave it to the procedures of our parliament to get to its logical conclusion.
Okay, let me ask the question. So, based on what the committee has done with its fact-finding and what the conclusions that have come up, do you think that the health minister himself, on his own volition, looking at what the facts are, should just resign? I'm going to post that question up on my Twitter, @Kafri Day. You can follow me. I'll follow you back, all right? and only those of you who respond to the thing will be followed. All right. So yes, should he just of his own volition resign his post, as is done in some other countries, or we shouldn't do copy? I want to find out from you. 055-556-1034. We'll get your views also when Thelma comes to read the messages. Now, let's move from that to an issue of some jojo between judges and who's also a lawyer. So recently, the MP for Medina said, and I quote, "If you make yourself a political judge, you will be treated politically and your tenure of office will run with the political party that you favor." He made these comments at a gathering a couple of days ago. The Ghana Bar Association was not happy and they came out with a long letter basically punching him verbally. And then Soso responds with his own letter, and now the Association of Magistrates and Judges have also come back with their, they feel very, very aggrieved by the comments that Mr. Soso has made. But Soso has maintained that his comment about political judges was not meant to malign the judiciary. On the line right now, to give us some more clarity, is a spokesperson for the Member of Parliament for Medina in the person of Bansi Abubakar Abdul Hamid. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How about you, sir?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing very well. You speak for Francis Xavier Soso, and there's now a back and forth going on in the media. What exactly is the state of play right now?
Thank you very much. Good morning to you once again and your listeners. Right now, I think like you rightly said, the leadership of the Ghana Bar Association issued a statement, and then we responded. And then yesterday, the leadership of the Magistrates and Judges Association also released a statement, and then in conclusion they said they were going to refer the issue, or they were going to report the issue to the General Legal Council to make a determination on the case, and so to basically, as it were, sanction the Member of Parliament. And so we have also responded to that one yesterday, and we are actually waiting for what move they will make next, whether they are indeed going to make a report about this issue or not. And so we're actually looking at what they will do next. We believe that what Lawyer Francis Xavier Soso said should not get to this level. It was a friendly advice that he gave to judges, just as we all advise each other every day. And so we do not think that it should get to that level where the judges will practically, or the leadership of the Association of Magistrates and Judges will practically be reporting Lawyer Soso to themselves. So we think it is actually very unnecessary for them to go on that tangent.
How would you speak for Mr. Sosu? What's your response to those who say that the comments he made, I mean, if you're a political judge, you'll be dealt with politically. Those statements, can they not be interpreted as inflammatory?
Inflammatory, you say?
Yes, I mean, for you to talk about political judges, is he prepared to name a political judge?
Yes, actually, he did not call anyone a political judge.
Exactly, but he said if you are a political judge, you'll be dealt with politically. Yeah. So if they ask him to mention the name of a political judge, can he... Mr. Bansik, let me ask my question, please. Let me ask my question. Hello?
Yeah.
Let me ask my question.
Yes, I'm here.
He said, if you are a political judge, you'll be dealt with politically. It's a conditional statement. If you are, you'll be dealt with politically. If he is asked to mention the name of a political judge, can he?
Yes. If you are a political judge, like I think I missed you there. I don't know whether you are done with your question.
I am.
Can I go ahead?
You can go ahead.
All right. Yes, you said it rightly. He was very careful with his statement when he said, if you are a political judge. And it is different from saying that there are political judges in the judiciary and they will be dealt with politically. That is an emphatic statement. That would have been an emphatic statement, actually. And anyone would be right to take him on. So it's a conditional statement. Today, if I say that if you are a political police officer, you will be dealt with politically, then the police officers will go and report that to the IGP and say that he has called everyone a political police officer. I mean, that is not a logical thing to do. He made a conditional statement.
Okay.
And since when did conditional statements become defamatory in this country?
Okay, Bansi, let me ask you a direct question.
Yes, please.
Can Lawyer Sosu name one political judge?
That question will be a legitimate question if Lawyer Sosu has made a statement that implies that some people are political judges. He made a conditional statement.
He did not speak in a...
I don't see why he will be asked to name a political judge. He made a statement, if you are a political judge. If you are not a political judge, how would you be worried? Why would you have sleepless nights over a statement that is made with F starting the sentence? It's a conditional statement. And so if you are not a political judge, there is no way you should report this to the General Legal Counsel.
Okay.
You shouldn't be worried about this.
Okay, Bansi.
Accuse anyone of anything.
Bansi, what was the context? What was the context in which he made these comments?
Well, for that, I cannot say. For that, to be honest with you, I cannot say. But this is not a statement will warrant this sort of reaction from the leadership of the General League, from the Ghana Bar Association, who have gone to sleep all this while, only for them to know that they are holding positions when Lawyer Francis Davis also makes a statement like this. When people have made far damning comments, people have made far worse statements about judges, people have insulted the entire judiciary, and nothing has been done. We did not even see a single word from the Ghana Bar Association or the Association of Magistrates and Judges. Their colleague judges were insulted and they were threatened on live national TV by another member of parliament, and we all heard it, we all watched it, and they did nothing about that. Nobody asked them about context, nobody asked them about anything. And so I think that we are blowing this out of proportion. The Association of Magistrates and Judges are blowing this out of proportion. The Ghana Bar Association, again, the leadership of the Ghana Bar Association, I'm being specific here, are just showing their political bias. And so we entertain this sort of behavior from the leadership of the Ghana Bar Association. And I think that the Association of Magistrates and Judges should also not be going on that particular tangent because it will amount to nothing. The member of parliament, no matter the context, he did not accuse anyone of doing anything. He made a conditional statement, which is very clear for everyone to see.
Okay, Bansi, so now the case has been escalated to the General Legal Counsel, and the person for whom you speak was in trouble with the General Legal Counsel a couple of years back. Exactly. Is he not running the risk of another confrontation and possible serious sanctioning from the General Legal Counsel?
Well, let me also remind you that the last time the General Legal Counsel sanctioned him, it was proven in the court of law that it was an illegal thing they did, and it was reversed. And Lawyer Francis also, in his statement yesterday, reiterated the fact that he stands by his convictions. He is very clear in his mind that Okay. And he knows very well that the judges are reporting him practically to judges in the General Legal Council for them to take action. And there is the likelihood that justice will not be served, but he is still unfazed and he stands by the words that he uttered. He knows that every well-meaning Ghanaian knows that he did not insult judges, he did not defame judges, he did not say anything that makes their work difficult. He only gave them a friendly advice like we all do to each other, we all do to the president, we all do to ministers of state, to even MPs, everyone. We say it to everyone. If you do this, this will happen to you. This goes without saying. And so he is not afraid of going there. And he said, he also added in the statement that even if they take his license away from him, he will not be bothered. He will know that he actually represented his people. He spoke as a Ghanaian. He spoke as someone who wanted the judiciary to be refined, the judiciary to be the best. That is why he made those statements, and he will not be cowered into silence because of what he has said.
Okay. Bansi, finally, has the General Legal Council made an invitation to Mr. Sosu to appear?
No, please. As of now, we've not seen any evidence that the Association of Magistrates and Judges have referred the issue to the General Legal Council. We've not been invited, and we actually don't think that, well, we are not going to preempt what they are going to do, but for now, we have not received any invitation from them.
Okay. I will leave it here. Bansi Abubakar Abdul Hamid is the spokesperson for the Member of Parliament for Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu. I'll take some comments from my guests, and then Thelma will drop your messages on us like it's hot on 055-556-1034, and then Valerie will help us to keep. Sheikh, so we can see what's going on these days. When lawyers are talking, everything is, yeah.
Sosu is
lawyers, this is not a good week for lawyers.
It's a young lawyer, very very vibrant, very courageous. He's my friend. I know him very well, and I like young people who are very courageous and forthright and so on. But maybe I should advise him that probably he should take caution in the way that he's moving. He's a young man, very young lawyer. I mean, he has great potentials ahead of him. Coming into direct confrontation with this senior institutions, for me, there are ways he can be critical of them, and he must be careful words that he uses. You see, in our local wisdom, and we are all products of our local wisdom. I mean, we are shaped by our parents and the community and so on and so forth. So we are not just, so there's a context within which we grow. And I think I need to advise him. I'm not saying passing judgment on him, but just looking at trends about his profession and how he's been coming to direct confrontation with. Opeyne Jokum, on his one of this, he said that in Akan they say that can you continue for me? Can you continue for me?
I'm listening to you. I know what you mean by what, but if you are too aggressive and masculine.
I mean, he said in Akan wisdom, he said,
if you put that into English, what would that be?
That is, if you prove to be too courageous, the war will end without you.
You must be at the end of the war.
In other words, you may not even be there to enjoy the glory. You were the one who was in front, and what it just means that even when you are courageous, be careful the way you go. And I will just want to advise, because the merits of the matter, I don't want to go into it. I'm not a lawyer myself, but I'm looking at him as somebody who has come several times, a number of times, into confrontation with this. Those I would call his seniors in the profession. You see, in our tradition, when you have an issue and the whole council of the traditional authority call you, and you want to prove to them that you are I mean, they will deal with you in certain ways. Like the king is in seat in palace, or the elders are sitting down there. They call you as a son, and then you prove to them that you are right, and then probably you use certain words on them. You may end up being somebody who is not regarded and respected wanted in the community.
Okay.
So mine is only to say that he's courageous, very creative, very academic, and so on and so forth, but he needs to work carefully
okay.
in the way that he moves.
Okay, before the comments, Dr. Lawrence Teta, you were listening with rapt interest.
Well, I've also known Susu very well. He's one young man who really takes a lot of delight in my ministry. I think I also say that he's not a young man anymore. He's a parliamentarian. He's representing the whole constitution. Some of the comments, he should just guard it so that he doesn't give himself. If you give the devil attention, he'll give you direction. If you don't take care, certain things that you don't even mean. And like we rightly said, for all you know, even the context from which it's made it was not to make this harm out of what is being done now. But because of who he is, everything he says becomes a story. So just take cue from what we are saying now. And like Sheikh rightly said, we are not passing a judgment on you at all. I've not even had a chance to follow the story. But for what you said, I've not followed the story. But our younger brother, just be mindful and careful. There's so much for you in the future. Make sure you guard your words so that you don't get into confrontation with leadership and of course with your vocation. It's very important. You don't have to be going back always to the General Legal Counsel. It's not a good thing.
Oh, you are done. Thank you. Let's get some comments right now. 055-556-1034. I can see Valerie smiling at the other side of the studio. She's just waiting to keep an eye on you. All right. But before that, it's Thelma.
Thanks for staying on 05555610034. Good morning, Sheikh and Rev. And thank you for sending your messages to us. Here's one from Ishmael. Good morning, noblemen in the studio. Kindly advise this young man to be a little circumspect in the way they behave and speak. It's not about how to use the English language. Look at how the spokesperson is speaking for his boss or client. Someone should advise this young member of parliament that he's getting himself into too much controversial issues. I learned he was nearly picked at the church and believe he belongs to a church and his pastors should talk to him. I am sad for the spokesperson. Thank you. And that's according to Ishmael, 2022. So many things he's touching on. Motorbike riders, 78% are total illiterate. Is that so, really? Because their behavior on roads, let me say, they are lacking some common sense and they risk their lives. He's also taking a look at the health minister, saying the health minister is control, and if pressure is taken, he will speak out. And we don't want to subscribe to the rest of the things you're saying. You're also talking about Lawyer Sosu 2022. Try and keep your comments temperate, okay, so that we can actually read them on air. We pray for minimizing labor agitations in the country. High productivity is what we are looking for, according to Tonya Dom. There's one I saw here. Batako is saying, Stephen Bonsu always watches us from Libya. Thank you, Stephen. We appreciate.
Libya?
Yes.
Wow.
So he's the one who watches us from Tripoli every day, and he sends messages when he watches. So our Facebook interface and our YouTube work effectively.
Please ask him whether he's safe there right now.
Okay, so Stephen, you heard us. I know that you're watching. Stephen Boachi, you're watching us from Libya, Tripoli. Are you okay? Let us know what it's like living in Tripoli now. Batako Kinsley, I greet your panel and I thank them for educating the public on national issues. I'll urge the general public to always have time to watch GTV Good Morning Breakfast Show. If Dr. Lawrence and Dr. Sheikh are seated, they will learn so much from them. Batako is sending us this from Navrongo. Good morning, Kinsley. We trust that you are well. He is joining with his comment. We're using the hashtag that we love, GTV Breakfast. Journalism in recent times is becoming appalling. Some media practitioners are behaving as omniscient and demigods. I'm waiting for the day that there would be a regulatory body to regulate the practice of journalism in Ghana, as that of the General Legal Council and Ghana Medical and Dental Council. Coup d'etat comments should not be ever entertained. You are sending us that message from Adabraka in Accra. Mastins is joining with his comment. The Minister of Health should do as the honor and vacate his post since he has breached the procurement process. This will serve notice to other ministers to follow. Ghana is not against politicians, but incompetent and malfunctioning ministers and public officials. What's Prince saying? I see the hashtag that I love to see. Did I see the police officer who was less concerned about the welfare of the accident victims by questioning who would pay for an ambulance service, rather taking videos of the while the victims sat on the ground under the mango tree. Seriously, hey Ghana, I hope the video is not meant for a hype on social media, but rather part of the police routine at accident sites. He's saying more. Listening to your interview with lawyer Sosu spokesperson, and he's claiming the comments of his boss were carefully and friendly made. Then I'm wondering what would have been the case if he decides to go reckless. They should stop the cheap justification and vindictiveness. He's a lawyer, for goodness sake, and should know better. He should eat the humble pie and do the needful. Yabre with a slap in the face, the palm slap. Hunter Franco Bab, the national discourse is the very and only way to go in regards to almost every sphere of our national issues and emergencies. Please, hitches here and there are not helping this nation. Reaching us from New Edubiase, Ben Ano says, Dr. Lawrence Tete and Sheikh speaks so much wisdom, and it makes watching GTV a great on Thursdays. We are always delighted when we have them as well. Georgia Franny. Thelma is a hairstyle for me. Thank you. Michelin Smira is your plug. Follow her on Instagram. Lawyer Sessu should know that every community has groups of people for every individual. Those who love you and those who don't love you. The difficulty is you can't identify them just by looking at them. Grow for Ghana. Sessu, GTV Breakfast, and that is Haruna reaching us from Sunyani. Thank you for sending that across. Perhaps I'll pick a last one from George. At any moment in time, there's only one president for the country. His authority is undermined. Therefore, if a neutral group like the Clergy pays the opposition leader a visit, okay, at any so he sent that twice. Just so when we are in doubt, we know that he has sent a message. Thank you, George, for sending those messages. Let me reiterate that persons who send messages reserve the right to their messages, and so it's their opinions. It does not in any way BBC or any of its affiliates stand for. Edincraft from Empire, so using the hashtag that I love so much. After damaging institutions with your comment, he has now found it necessary to use spokesperson. Let's not encourage this behavior. Sosu has faulted. He should just accept and apologize. Do I have time for more? Cap, good morning. If the police officer is asking who will pay the charges, are the people not paying taxes? This is the reason why we won't pay e-levy. Meanwhile, we claim our taxes are going to benefit us. Abdul Hakim from Kumasi. So that's what people are saying, Kaf, and you see how I ended.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum. Yes. Peace and shalom. Yeah, you can see my anger when we brought the ambulance chap here, and he was telling us their service is free, and we were telling him it's not free. Well, that was the evidence right there. If the policeman is asking who is going to pay for the ambulance, then you know it's not free. All right, but I'm not going to write it. Valerie has calmed me. Keep an eye. So it's keep an eye time now. You stay while you're watching GHT Breakfast. All right. All right. Okay. So hashtag GTV Breakfast. Telephone number 055-556-1034. We're keeping an eye on some developments in town, and Valerie brings that to you. Remember, in the last hour of the show, yes, yeah, for Iponsa is in the house. Yeah, but for now, keep an eye. Keep an eye.
Welcome to this side. And so earlier we said we're going to follow the Napco personnel who are demonstrating today. But guess what? We have a video, and we're about to show you. The president made some comment about how the Napco personnel will be employed. And so we are going to show you that video now. When we come back, we are going to connect with Jay, and we'll see what the Napco personnel are up to. They are starting from the Obra spot we hear. And so here's a short video coming up.
Now about to be affected to the various modules, by Digitize Ghana, Civic Ghana, Ministry of Food and Agriculture, the security services, etc. So that program will be on, and by October we'll see a significant deployment of most of them, but not all, because not all the people have responded. And so far, one year I responded to questionnaire as to where you want to go. 72 out of the 90-something thousand. Ordinarily, the people who are being the focus of the program, because we want to be able to do another program at the end of October when we start, when it comes again, to be able to absorb more and more people. So that's the plan and a big program being laid whereby that deployment.
And so that was the president making some comments about the Napco personnel and how they will be employed and to which sectors they will be employed. The Napco personnel have started the demonstration. It's begun at your brass port. We hear, and our guy Jay is on standby to speak with some of them and also give us a general feel of what's happening on the ground. So good morning officially to you, Jay. What's happening and what can you report? Yes, Mr. Jack. Details as to what's happening. Jay,
thank
you're
you
live.
So much. Welcome once again, hashtag GTV Breakfast. So I'm reporting live from the Obrasport here, where some Napco beneficiaries are planning to demonstrate. They are going on a demonstration all the way to the Independence Square to present their petition to the Minister, Dr. Ibrahim Anyas, concerning some situations they have at hand. We all know globally there is an unemployment situation. Indeed, when the COVID pandemic hit, it was quite telling how it affected a number of people. Indeed, in 2018, the government launched an initiative, the Nation Builders Corps, to ameliorate this situation, to help curb the graduate unemployment situation at hand. And under this scheme, there were a number of modules. We had the Heal Ghana, we had Educate Ghana, we had Revenue Ghana, quite a number of them to afford graduate trainees skills with which they could come out of it and get proper jobs when they are done. It was a 3-year contract, giving them a temporary employment situation at a rate of 700 cedis. Of course, whenever they were paid at the end of the month, there was a levy charge of 75 pesos. That was an easy-wage charge. That was charged to the account. Presently, there are a number of issues the Napco beneficiaries are complaining about, including the way their stipends are not really forthcoming, and the fact that they don't know the situation at hand. Are they going to be permanently employed or not? So this is basically what the strike, the demonstration is about. So I have a few of them here before they embark on the strike, which is scheduled to start around 9:30. There are a few police personnel seated behind me. They are also waiting for the main program to start. So I have a few of them here. I would like to speak with them, get a semblance of what exactly is on their mind and why they want to embark on this demonstration this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
You're doing well. If you're doing well, I'm not really sure you'll be here.
Yeah, that one it is true, but that is what our forefathers normally say.
Okay, I get you. So which module are you?
Educate Ghana.
Educate Ghana.
Yes.
Can you tell me what... Oh, you don't want to mention that one for...
Let us keep it.
Okay, so I know for some time now you're complaining about the stipends. Is that the main reason why you are here this morning, or it's about a permanent employment?
It is both. Both the allowance and the permanent job that the president promised us. That is why we are here to demonstrate.
Hold on. So we all understood that Napco is a temporary, alleviation to help with the graduate employment situation. Your contract stipulated that was for 3 years. So within that 3 years, even without the president's promise, didn't you make any plans that maybe you leave the scheme, or you just want the permanent employment?
No, let us take those and Educate Ghana, for instance. Now you train someone for 3 good years. Now the person has the needed skills and experience, and you are telling the person to go. How does it sound? Meanwhile, the person also qualifies. If some of us even have licenses, the same thing applies to other modules. They also have the qualifications, and they now have the needed skills. So why should we go home after the 3 years? Meanwhile, you may be there and they may be employing some people. That is where our problem is.
Okay, so right now your plan this morning is to march all the way to the Independence Square and present your petition to the minister.
To our CEO.
Okay, so can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, the police had instructed him to come and meet us at the Independence Square and collect the petition. So we are hoping to meet him there.
To be there. Okay, there are a few other beneficiaries. Thank you so much. There are a few of them here. I also like to speak to. Good morning, boss. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So, why you are here to demonstrate concerning permanent employment?
Exactly.
Yes. So tell me what's on your mind this morning.
Boss, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm just a from Goforia. In fact, now go to this. We are very angry. We are angry, oh. We are angry. In fact, this government, he is trying to play on our intelligence. He forgot we are graduates. In fact, today, you will tell Nana that he promised to give us permanent employment. In fact, career pathway transition process. It was launched before the 2020 elections. And as at now, it's been almost 2 years. There hasn't been any result. So we are asking Nana, was it just for political, Look at the Ghana Times. This was in August 11, 2021. So we did 3,000 Napco beneficiaries to join state agencies department. Nanado, see.
Hello. So I understand how frustrated you are and everything, but still accord that respect to the president. Don't just be referring to him by his name like that. Okay. Okay, so I have one of their leaders at the moment who is over there. I'll just try to grab a few comments from him. Hello. Good morning, boss. How you doing? How you doing, boss?
I'm doing well.
Okay, so you're live on hashtag GTV Breakfast. So can you tell us what the game plan is for this morning?
Yeah, actually, we are waiting for our personnel to come on board, and very soon we'll be moving from here to the Independence Square, where we our grievances, our petition to the Napco Secretariat. As our CEO will be coming around, yeah.
To embark on a demonstration such as this, does that mean for some time now they've not listened to your complaints, they've not heard what you have been complaining about? That's why you have to resort to the demonstration.
Yes, we have been on radio, we have been on TV discussing about the challenges that we are going through, but seems no communication anywhere. Government is not communicating with Napco trainees. We are suffering. Even during Christmas, we are not given anything. That is why we have decided to set up this very day to embark this demonstration. We are requesting for only our arrears, 5-month arrears, and also the permanent jobs that the government promised us. That is what we are looking for. We are not looking for any other thing but the permanent jobs and the arrears that government owes Napco trainees.
Speaking of arrears, I know, for instance, the Napco trainees without any messages this time. So does that mean there are still people who have not been paid as of now?
Yes. With my the Ghana model, they were not paid at all. Government owns Ghana for over 10 good months. They've not been paid, and even the 2 months that they paid, it is just because they realize that we are about to embark on demonstration. That is why they pay the 2-month arrears.
That's your understanding of the situation.
Yes, please.
Okay, so in wrapping up, what do you have to say finally? What do you expect from this match? Maybe you may not meet your CEO at the Independence Square. Then what will be the game plan then?
Yes, for now we want to present our petition to the CEO, and we expect that whatever we have put on paper here, they will just deliver. They should just do it for us. That's all. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So you can tell how aggrieved the Napco beneficiaries are. A lot of uncertainty about their future, praying for jobs that they don't think will be coming. They've spoken to their Napco secretariat, and as of now, they feel they haven't had enough information. So for now, this is the few people who have gathered here as of now. The demonstration is planned. They plan to start around 9:30. So hopefully their colleagues will join them as at that time. But for now, this is all we have to report from the Obra Sport here at the Kwame Baffoe Circle Interchange. Back to you, Val, in the studio.
Jay. So that was Jay, and he was speaking to some Napco trainees and personnel, and we are waiting for the demonstration to begin. I'm sure we'll be coming up, we'll be seeing some interesting placards. The hashtag to follow is GTV Breakfast. We are live on YouTube and Facebook as the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Handing over to Kaf, the Sheikh, and the Reverend. Back to you guys.
Thank you, the presenter. All right. Yeah, quick comments on that before we talk about toll booths. So there's a general issue of low salaries, which leads also to low allowances. But then when the allowances that are so low are not even being paid, then you put the people in a tight corner.
Yeah, I think this must be viewed within the institutional framework. Napco is an institution. It has a head, it has a secretariat. I'm sure it has its communication channels. If there's any difficulty, I am not sure how far the difficulty has been communicated effectively and also convincingly to the Napco beneficiaries. If that gap of information is left, then it will provide the fire that motivates these young men and women to be, and for me, it further ossifies the labor fronts. Already the government is dealing with these labor issues, and this one comes to add with it, and it creates a more complex and complicated situation for government. So my advice to the head of the Napco, I mean, I think my good brother, Dr. Anyas, if he's there, if there's information that he needs to pass on convincingly to really give hope to the young men and women who already are damn frustrated because of lack of jobs and so on, also the assurances that has been made already, in the terms of the promise. If you listen to them, they are making reference to promises made. If there are hindrances to the fulfillment of those promises, how has that been well communicated with them? So that, and then what are the new openings? Because we'll find it impracticable that within the space of time that we have, this huge number of young people can be employed. Okay. I mean, the reality, if I look at the reality. Yeah. Yeah.
So they need to work on it quickly and sort things out. I'll come to you shortly, but we want to go to toll booths. It's quite an important issue. And there's a story here in the Supreme newspaper about the government re-engaging toll workers. On the line, we have the head of public affairs at the Ministry of Roads and Highways, Nasir Ahmad Yate. Salaam alaikum. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Nasir.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Good morning, and good morning to your cherished viewers.
It's good to hear from you, and I'm sure the toll booth workers must be smiling at this news. But I want you to break the news to them, for example, for those of them who haven't heard it yet. What is going to be happening to the toll booth locations which have been in the news for the wrong reasons for such a long time?
Thank you very much. You know, at the time when government suspended the collection of toll booths last year, government announced that no toll worker will be disadvantaged. It means that no toll worker will be sent home. And so since November, every toll worker has continued to receive their pay. Let me say that we had two sets of workers. One set of workers were employed by the Ghana Highway Authority, and the other set of workers were employed by a private company called the Toll and Routes Management Limited. As at December, January, all the toll workers working with the Ghana Highways Authority had received their pay. We had few challenges with the ones working with the private operator, but the minister met with the stakeholders, and as I speak to you, payment for those sets of workers also have been made. And so it is government policy to ensure that no toll worker is disadvantaged. That is the more reason why government is looking at remodeling all the toll locations. Again, let me emphasize, is toll locations and not toll booths. Because if you look at the locations, the toll locations have a lot of facilities which includes the toll booths. So we are not looking at using the toll booths, but the locations for various other activities that can continue to have several proposals. Some of the places we can use as emergency centers along the highway. Some also we are looking at police posts, and others we are looking at whether we can build decent washrooms along the highways. And so there are various proposals that have come across. And the release we sent out yesterday, we mentioned in the release that government has plans to dualize all our major highways. And so on these highways where there are set toll locations, we'll remodel them into the design of the highway and see what will fit that particular location in terms of whether it's a police post, whether it's an emergency, decent washrooms. It will be determined on a location base, and then from there we can engage these workers so that they can continue to have their livelihood.
Okay, Nasir, thank you for that. A couple of quick questions. So how many toll locations do we have in this country now? If they're no longer called toll booths, how many toll locations do we have?
In all, we have 38. Okay. And these 38 locations come with over 100 toll booths. So we have about 38 toll locations.
Okay.
And it all may not be used, may not be fit for the purpose, because some are very small.
Okay.
Where we have the bigger ones, like the plazas, like you go to the Temamoto Way, you go to the Kaswa area,
okay.
They are very big. They have big enough space. Carve out 2 lanes, you still have enough space. And these are plazas that already have office spaces where you have washrooms and other office facilities.
Okay.
So if you decommission the toll booth itself that is on the main road, if you decommission that, the question is, what do you do with the office spaces that are part of these facilities? And so that's why we are thinking of putting them into other uses that can still employ our brothers and sisters so that we continue to give them decent livelihood.
Okay, I'm just reading this report from the Supreme newspaper. I'm sure it's from your news release. It says, for instance, and I quote, at the Accra Toll Plaza location on the Accra Tema Motorway, there are 8 toll booths, 1 office, and 1 washroom. These same numbers are present at the Kaswa toll booth. And then at the Ashaiman toll location, there are 4 toll booths, 2 offices, and 1 washroom, while at the Setre toll location, there are 4 toll booths, 3 offices, and 2 washrooms. And then you've given all kinds of detail. Talking of washrooms, is your boss surprised at the reaction of Ghanaians when he spoke about decent washrooms at these toll locations? What is his feeling about the reaction to those comments from 2 weeks ago?
Well, Kwame, you cannot imagine that it was totally misrepresented, and people just took him to the cleaners, and that's why that necessitated this release, because for us at the Ministry of Roads and Highways, this is a major policy, and so we could not just allow it to go without explaining the rationale behind what the minister was trying to explain. And Kwame, we are all journalists, we are all media men. At times, the way some of our people carry stories, at least if you don't understand, if you don't get the import of what the minister was saying, you could ask, what happened to our ethics that said check and recheck again? You know, that is basic ethics of journalism.
This is why we've called you to get us some clarification, Nasir, so don't worry, cry.
That's why I'm so grateful for this opportunity, because I mean, you could not just imagine people just took the minister to the cleaners as if he didn't know what he was saying, as if he was. I mean, I cannot repeat some of those.
Was he sad? What was his demeanor? I mean, did he ever speak to you about how people were talking?
Well, the minister has a very strong personality. He's very resolute. He believes in what he's doing, and if people misunderstood him for the first time, I mean, we could and educate the public about what we are trying to do. That's why we are back with this press release, trying to explain why we cannot just demolish these places, and rather see how best we can remodel these locations, and make other uses of them, especially so when we have workers to employ.
All right.
When we have our brothers and sisters who have to make some livelihood. We need to find a creative way of redesigning these places so that they can.
So briefly, so that you're going to have, and I'm just wrapping up this conversation. So there's going to be remodeling these locations into police posts, first aid emergency centers, towing service centers, ambulance centers, and other ancillary services. Before I let you go, how many people are going to be involved in this re-engagement of workers? How many are we looking at, private and public? How many workers?
In total, let me explain. In total, we have about over 700 workers who are working on the toll booths. There are over 700.
Have they been paid? Are they being paid up until now? Or?
Yes, they have been paid. They have been paid. But the issue is that they have to be retrained and then reassigned depending on the location that they will be assigned to. And let me explain further that, for example, if you are going to set up an emergency center, of course, a toll worker will not run or operate that emergency center to the fullest. Of course, you have professionals, medical doctors or nurses assigned there, but there will be other work at that center that a toll worker could be retrained to undertake other medical facilities.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. So it's not that you put an emergency center there and then a toll worker is made to go and operate that emergency center. Let me make this clarification.
That's very clear. Thank you for that clarification. And that also means that the toll location, the booths at the toll locations will not be destroyed. Although the National Road and Safety Authority is saying that they pose a risk right now, they will not be destroyed. Is that? Can we get that word from you?
Let me clarify this also. The booth itself on the main road will be decommissioned.
What does that mean? Break it down for me. When you say decommissioning a booth, what does that mean?
So maybe in your language it will be destroyed. Because it is on the main road. That one will be destroyed. But we are saying there are other facilities like the office space. So the office space that already has washrooms and office facility, that one will remain to cater for this alternative use.
Remodeling, yes, in my language.
Yes. So the booth on the main road, on the road itself, will be decommissioned.
Okay.
Which will not remain in that way. We will remove all the booths, but then we'll have to use the offices attached to the booth or to the location for the purposes that we are talking about.
Of course, and washrooms will be created. Is that correct?
Yes. If a particular spot if we determine that this spot will be good for a washroom facility, then we create that there.
Okay.
So that is why I'm saying that each location will have a special. We'll determine it by location.
Okay.
And so some locations will be turned into, example, if we have a highway that is accident-prone highway, and you have a toll plaza located on that highway, it makes more sense to turn that plaza into an emergency health post than to turn it into a urinal.
Okay. Quick questions on money. On Twitter, our viewers are asking, where is the money coming from? How are you going to finance? How much is this thing going to cost you to remodel these toll locations? Where is the money coming from?
Already, as I said...
Is it in the budget?
Yes. As I said, most of these highways are going to be dualized by the government. So, Kumasi, Accra, Takrade, Tema, Aflao, all these major highways we are dualizing.
Where's the money coming from to remodel these toll locations?
It's going to be part of the budget of the dualization budget.
Which is it this year's budget? Is it in this year's budget?
Yes. Most of the plans to dualize are captured in this year budget.
And this remodeling is in this budget. We want to be sure about this remodeling. Is it in this budget?
There's sum total for this. It's not going to be any significant amount.
Please,
so
please share that. Please share that insignificant. How much is it? How much is it, Nasir?
Well, Kafui, as I speak to you, I don't have the figures, but I can assure you our engineers and our technical men have done all the calculations, and that's why we are moving ahead with it. I cannot put a figure out as I speak.
But if I come to the office, you can give me the figures, right?
When we are ready to roll out this laudable initiative, all the figures will be put out.
What's the timeline? What's the timeline, sir?
Well, even as I speak to you, as I said, the Accra-Kumasi Highway dualization starting anytime from the end of this month to next month. You'll see action on the Accra.
Yeah, but it doesn't take 1 month to dualize a highway. I mean, give us a specific timeline, Nasir. I'm
coming. I think some part of this week you heard the chairman for the Parliamentary Select Committee on Roads giving some detail on the work that we are going to do to create a road diversion and to work on the dualization of the Accra-Kumasi Highway.
Okay, so and finally,
yeah.
Sorry, I would have to cut you because I wish I could have this on for like the next hour, but we really need to go quickly. Where are you getting the money to pay the workers? I mean, the understanding was that these tolls were not generating enough revenue. Where's the money coming from to pay these people?
Well, once government makes a policy and a determination to continue to ensure that our livelihood, government finds the money to make sure that they are paid. And that's why to continue to sustain this, we said that we need to put them into work. And that's why we are remodeling this place to make sure that they continue to work and continue to receive their pay.
All right.
But for now that they are not working, government will ensure that they continue to receive their pay.
Nasir Ahmad Yate is the head of public affairs at the Ministry for Roads and Highways. I thank you very much for giving us the information that we need about those toll booth locations. They're no longer called toll booths like that. They're toll booth locations. All right, 38 of them around the country. And we are expecting to see police posts, ambulance centers, towing service centers, first aid emergency centers in those areas. Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete, I'm just curious. You drive through those locations. They say they're no longer called toll booths.
I think that we should sit back and reanalyze this whole thing again. I know the road and highway minister is a very astute lawyer and very vested. It's been this is second term in that office.
Yeah.
So I think let us not attack him personally. Let's look at the weight of the office, the enormity of the work to do, and let's rather all support. I think we all have a responsibility. The problem we have in Ghana now is that in our bid to criticize, we don't seem to create solution. This calls for all hands on deck. We all need to come together to get this thing working. We all use the road. And so the way we put it is very much important for the sake and for the safety of everyone. I'm quite concerned about how we convert the toll booths into toilets. I'm figuring about minded. Yeah. So those who knows what to do, let us get together and let's help to put it together.
Okay. Sheikh, you were worried when you were hearing about washrooms.
I think...
Have your worries been allayed now?
Yeah, you see, sometimes, we've all worked in office before, we've had an institution. Sometimes on the spot, you are caught and you need to answer a question. If you don't take care, somebody even what you don't intend, if you are not careful, you say just to satisfy. I think the minister was caught in that kind of situation. You see, now after reflection, they are bringing other things that the place could be used.
It could also be that the pressure forced them to go back and come back.
Who are in office, in fact, have something to offer, and I think that is one of the things that is worrying us now. It's better to say in the now language always, the cup is half full than to say it is half empty.
Thank you. Comments on 055-556-1034. Thelma her arms are bulging with all your message. If she were a postwoman, she would have a whole bunch of letters in her arms, and her biceps would be pulsating with all the energy that she needs to bring all the. But since everything is E and M, it's either mobile or it's electronic. Everything is just there on the screen, and then she'll just punch a few buttons, and then before you know, you have all your comments coming in. I know you have a lot to say on the issues we've discussed so far. The President Mahama meeting with the clergy. Then we had the issue of the health minister. Should he go by himself? Should he jump or should he be pushed? And we are talking about the toll booths, which are now toll locations, 38 of them around this country, 700 workers going to be re-engaged to do a variety of things, retrained. We'll be finding out how much it costs after I go and visit Mr. Yate in his office to get the figures, after he's consulted with his engineers. Let's get your messages through right now on 055-556-1030. I'll eat some pebbles while Thelma gives me some messages.
So there's a Napco demo currently ongoing around the Obra Sport, and some of you are sharing thoughts on that. Good morning. I think for them to at least mention the model they belong, as political activists can and may join the demonstrators, as we know, please. So the concern is that some political activists may join the Napco demonstration so as to, further
pickpockets also.
Pickpockets too. It's very.
The guys haven't even paid their salary, their allowances. So you pickpockets, you are going there. The way they go release, I read on you. Don't try it, you pickpockets. Don't try it.
This one is what a transformation. GTV Breakfast Show has come to stay. This means strong men and women. Our institutions will work. God bless the crew for this wonderful transformation. Thank you, Haruna, for those thoughts. Osankide is saying Ghanaians should stop the politicization of fuel prices, because it's not the government of the day who determines the fuel prices, but it is the world market prices. We all know that things are hard nowadays under the leadership of President Akufo-Addo. Thank you for sending that message. Dora is saying good morning to you as well. Amevo, good morning, GTV. Thank you for the good job you people are doing. The government is a disgrace to Africa. Okay, that's your thoughts on there. Good morning, I'm Eben from Kwabenya. And this is also another hard one hitting at the sitting government. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. We like to keep them temperate, so we will read them, but try and keep it a certain way. I wonder, in Ghana is where you see the only emergency service like the ambulance service running everywhere, saving lives day in, day out, and are not even recognized by the government and the President of the Republic. So how much more Napco and the rest to be recognized? That's what you think, or being thanks for sharing with us. Hashtag GTV Breakfast. Good morning, sir. How on earth are you going to set up a washroom and emergency center in the middle of a highway? I think it's dangerous for road users.
He explained
it's not in the middle of the highway. They will be pulled down. I think if I heard. Let me try and bring this down. See, that's a lot. So keep it short so that I know straight away what you mean to say. Good morning, GTV Breakfast. PJ from Spintex. There must be an ambulance in all the services. Police, fire, immigration, customs, immigration, in order to avoid such shameful questions as to who pays what. But the reality remains that if you call an ambulance and you are asked to make a payment, you would have to. Leviticus Powers, stoppage of toll boothing is going to help in the reduction of commercial lorry fares, and he's also saying, how are these workers going to be protected by occasional accidents like vehicles running into the toll booths? E-levy will bring the findings. And Leviticus, he's explained that they will not be in the middle of the highway, so perhaps that may answer your question, and we'll try to find some more messages. GTV Breakfast, toll booth into decent washroom. Kaish, to you all, especially my Sheikh. So Sheikh, here's a greeting going for you. Let me just scroll and see if I may have missed anything more. I don't think so, so I'll hand over back to you, Kaf, and the Reverend and the Sheikh. Keep your messages coming in, and there's more to expect on Breakfast on GTV.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. I just want to release some new news. New news. So you know what was happening at the Ghana Airport Company with McDan, and then the MD was fired. Yeah. Well, the Ghana Airport Company has a new MD, and I just want to read. Maybe Thelma will go and read the statement for me on the other side of the studio. Thelma, I'll be so happy if you did that for me. But we've got a new MD heading affairs at the Ghana Airports Company. I just want to pull it up for you so that you can read it for yourselves, and then I'll get the final comments from my guests on the show. So there's a picture of her coming up. That's her. And Thelma, just go through the release for us, shall we?
Okie dokes. So here is the release, and it's loading now on your screen on the appointment of Managing Director. Following an emergency meeting of the GACL board held on Wednesday, February 16, 2022, Mr. Yaw-Kwakwa submitted his resignation as the Managing Director of Ghana Airports Company Limited, effective close of day February 17, 2022. The GACL board has subsequently appointed Madame Pamela Jamson-Tete as the new Managing Director of Ghana Airports Company Limited, effective February 18, 2022. She has over 25 years of proven track record in senior management, including 9 years in the mining industry, 9 years in the manufacturing sector, and 5 years in the power sector. Well networked with a confident approach and integrity, she is strategically astute, possesses a strong ability to build sustainable relationships with excellent interpersonal communication and language skills. Pamela has excellent analytical skills with a strong bias for political science, government relations, community relations, environment, international relations, and diplomatic protocols. From 2001 to 2009, Pamela was the Executive Director and Director Corporate Relations at Diageo Ghana, Guinness Ghana Breweries GGBL, as member of the Board of Directors of GGBL and a key member of the GGBL executive team. Her responsibilities included a wide range of business critical agendas, including corporate communications, stakeholder engagement, strategic planning, corporate brand reputation, sustainable development, and key spokesperson for GGBL. Pamela holds a BA cum laude degree in international relations from the United States International University Hertz, UK, and San Diego, California, USA, 1982 to 1985. Postgraduate diploma merit, politics and diplomacy, University of Kent at Canterbury, UK, 1985 to 1986, and an MA degree in international relations, University of Kent at Canterbury, UK, 1986 to 1987. She is an accredited member of the Institute of Public Relations, IPR Ghana, and this was issued by the GACL board.
Hey, thank you very much, Thelma, for that. So that's Pamela Jamson-Tete, who is the new MD of the Ghana Company. Okay, so there was a letter, and I want us to read this letter, and then I'll tell you why. So, Thelma, can you please read this letter that was addressed to Mr. Kwakwa?
This was from the Ministry of Transport, and it was titled Termination of Appointment of Managing Director of Ghana Airports Company Limited. His Excellency the President of the Republic, per letter number OPS 127/22/104, dated 31st January 2022, has directed that the appointment of Mr. Yaw-Kwakwa as the Managing Director of the Ghana Airports Company Limited be terminated. In this regard, kindly take the necessary steps to give effect to the directive I count on your cooperation. Kwekwo Fore-Siama, Honorable Minister, signed. And it's copied the Secretary to the President, Office of the President, Jubilee House, Accra, Secretary to the Vice President, Office of the Vice President, Jubilee House, Accra, and the Chief of Staff, Office of the President, Jubilee House.
Okay, so in this letter, his appointment was terminated, which means he was fired.
In the other
letter, that's the point I want to make. You know? So in this letter, they say you've been fired.
Perhaps
if
the
you've been fired,
the Reverend will back me and say whether the whale swallowed Jonah.
No, but there are technical things. There are implications for your benefits and things like that. How are you fired in one communication, and then when they are bringing in your successor, they say you resigned? Can you be fired and resign in the same breath, reverend.
So this is where emotions have no intellect. When we do things out of emotions, we lose sight of what is supposed to be. They are procedures. I think that procedures were not properly followed. And that's why we find ourselves in this. It doesn't even augur well for everybody. I feel very sad for even the minister, who's an astute academic who knows it's about. Maybe he was instructed to put letters together, and now we find ourselves that, look, we could have handled this gentleman's thing on a dialogue. If we have all sat on the table, we would have handled it in such
Let's agree that you resign.
Let's look at things holistically. Emotions have no intellect, and if you don't take care, we live at somebody can be sued for this.
Yeah, because in one length you fired me.
Yes.
Now you're telling me that I resign. Which is which?
Somebody can be sued for this, and if you don't take care, we pay a lot of debts that can easily be avoided. If we wanted him to be put aside, it has to be handled carefully.
Exactly.
And of course, whether we like it or not, if the person has not committed something that is too much for it to be handled, let us use a lot of decorum in handling our issues. I feel very sad with this situation. I think that it could have been well handled. And then if you don't take care, the young lady who has come, Pamela, who is taking over now, there's always be tension. We're handing over ceremonies and all this. But I have a problem with Ghana. We don't have a succession plan.
Yeah, handing over is not good.
And so there's always bad blood, and it's not the best.
True.
And it look as if all along the gentleman was supposed to be kicked out, so somebody takes over, and it's not the best.
Not the best. Sheikh.
Well, I
final words.
hope if the lady herself who has been put in office now is reading all this, I mean, she should not be happy.
Yeah.
She should not be happy because if it can be done to somebody now, what does it show that it cannot be done to you tomorrow?
Yeah.
So my point is, even if it is a termination, there's a context. What occasioned the decision to terminate?
Yeah.
And it may be made as transparent as possible, even when you have the mandate and the power to appoint and disappoint. Because you are also dealing within the context of society, you want to state clearly, for reason A, B, C. For example, either you have violated or breached a certain point of contract, or you have completely shown gross incompetence, or embezzlement, misappropriation, and so on and so forth. Those things are clear. Yeah. But if that was not done, already we are thinking about that. Then, in the context of appointment of a new officer, I say you make a reference to the resignation. You know, so the inconsistency is so clear, and it shows that it's sometimes motivated by something. And I think it's not tidy. It's not tidy, and within the context of our decisional framework, this needs to be corrected. For me, the future is the important thing. Don't create bitterness in the hearts of people, and those who have been put in place in the context of should not also be happy, because what has been done to the person today can be done tomorrow. Can be done tomorrow.
How do you say it in Ghana?
Chona akechwa tete.
Chona akechwa. Meaning tete. Akechwa tete.
Thank you very much. Because we are here because we come from a certain background, and we tread on the environment of religion, and our thoughts, are inspired by God's wisdom, are inspired by very goodwill, and want to be ethical, and so on and so forth. You see, and then Ghana is, I can say, more than 95% religious.
Yes, very religious.
And that's why when we sing our national anthem, we begin by saying, God bless our homeland Ghana. When we appoint people in office, the oath of office ends by so help me God. Our national pledge ends with so help me God. And that's why Ghana cannot be seen completely as secular.
Yes.
And secularism does not mean godlessness.
Thank you.
We are a religious people. So Christianity says, love thy neighbor as thyself. My religion says, if you believe in Allah in the last day, don't hurt your neighbor.
Thank you.
I leave it there.
God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Thank you very much, Sheikh Arimi Ashabu. My regards to The old man. Yes, my regards to him. Reverend Dr. Lawrence said I wish you the best.
I think one of these days we have to go and visit him.
Yes,
I'll agree.
And
I do that. I used to do that a lot.
I want to join you.
The picture is there when you hug him.
I want to join you.
Yes,
when
I have a nice picture with you.
Yeah. We will go together, three of us.
And he speaks Ghana with me.
Yes, I'll speak my broken Ghana with him. So the presenter, the sheikh, and the reverend will go and visit the chief imam pretty soon. Thank you very much. Great. Beautiful day. When we return, we're going to be talking about pull him down syndrome. So Jocelyn Dumas has been talking about pull him down syndrome. And I'll be joined here with the lovely ladies who pull me up. They don't pull me down. Val and Thelma will be joining me for a little conversation before we bring in... Let me take my pebble before I get a shock. So pull him down coming up after this. Don't go anywhere. This is GTV Breakfast. Hashtag GTV Breakfast. WhatsApp number 055-556-1035. I'm going to share some pebbles with my guests. We'll see you after this for a conversation. Pull him down. Don't go anywhere.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show.
When you need a shoulder to cry, run on my pamper, so we try our suicide. Yeah, on the bygone. I didn't see what the bottom gonna do. We go straight to start. I'm gonna take you to next level. Oh, baby, oh yeah. The energy next level. But baby, oh yeah. Take you to next level. Oh, baby, oh yeah.
I don't go next level.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat.
Injija woman malaria enka won to them. Lufat, eye malaria drop a.
And now you may kiss the bride.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And I Lufat. Lufat, a two malaria sententem. FDA, I say a dead crack.
Coming live from the capital, this is The Breakfast Show.
Good morning, my neighbors.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling healthy.
Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate chicken vegetables.
So in my lifetime, I haven't seen Ghana Black Stars win an African Cup.
Can I show what is written on the box?
Yes, definitely.
Where's the camera?
Just stand and turn.
So what's your pleasure, Dan Votras, at that time of the morning? So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
We've got you covered with a trusted team.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Good morning. It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
So what's your pleasure? At that time of the morning.
You want it served buffet style, complimentary breakfast?
On-site restaurant.
Or room service?
We've got you covered.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
With a trusted team.
So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
Been practicing to do it. Let me see if I'll get it right this time.
Okay.
I got it. Okay, so while the pebble is in my mouth, there's a tweet that, by the way, Oforiposa is around the corner. So, no, it's happening. So, Jocelyn Duma, who is a TV host, actress, all-round talented Ghanaian, has been talking a lot about PhD. No, she's not going to UPSA for a degree in marketing, a doctorate. This is the tweet that she put up, and I thought we could have a chat on it. It says the pulling down mindset in this country is sad, sickening, mind-blowing, and pathetic. Be happy for your neighbors and push them. That's how doors are opened for others to have access. So she's been complaining about this system where people pull you down. And then DKB came back to say, a country that when you celebrate high number of YouTube subscribers, they go and unsubscribe. A country that when you celebrate high number of Twitter followers, they go and unfollow you. A country that when you are
when a foreigner
praises you, then they DM to destroy you. Which country is that? There's no price to this. And then John Germain adds to the tweet and says, my brother. Remember when Grammy-winning producer tweeted about wanting to work with me? Our people tweet and DM asking him why, and they told him not to work with him. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. So about the PhD syndrome. And I'm curious, for those of you who are watching us, have you experienced it where you feel that you are going up and people are trying to bring you down? All right? 05555561034. Val, are you familiar with this syndrome? You don't have to name names. Just talk to us about PhD. I mean, what does it feel like when you feel that you're going forward and somebody's trying to bring you down just because they don't like you?
Especially when you're putting in your all. And yeah, I've experienced it. I mean, I'm sure everybody has, especially in the creative arts industry. And yes, I think I'll agree with Jocelyn. PhD is rife in our creative industry. An example is, for instance, if there's an issue, something happens to the creative persons in Nigeria, okay? You find that instead of bashing, yes, there'll be a little bashing, but then the positive comments and trying to pull the person out of a bad situation, that's what they do. Savage tape that was leaked, allegedly by someone who was in their camp or the camp of the person she was in the video with. Remember that as soon as the video hit, Ghanaians jumped on it on Twitter and just started going, oh, and slave queens and yada yada and blah blah blah. But in Nigeria, people were being bashed for even circulating the video. This is
really?
Yes, people were being bashed for circulating the video, and that's how come whoever leaked it, the impact the person wanted, or whichever persons did that, it didn't. They didn't. I mean, Tiwa didn't feel the impact because guess what? People shielded her. So even though PhD is rife in the creative industry, there are some people too who are trying to, shed the negativity and push positive vibes. Yes, but PhD is rife in our creative industry. It's really, really rife.
I think Tiwa did feel the impact. She just decided, you know what? I'm not going to commit my energies towards fighting this. Remember the time that she was marketing or doing a lot of promotion for somebody's son, which she did with Brandy. And so she just determined that I'm going to focus on my work and promoting this thing that I'm doing. And I'm not going to bother, because whatever it is that has been leaked into the public space is something that, if true, was something meant to be very private. And she was not expecting that would be put out there. So, yes, it exists, and people do feel the impact. It's just there are very few people with the tough skin to say, you know what, I'm going to keep going regardless. And that's what we don't think about sometimes when we make comments or we suggest things that are meant to put others down.
Have you felt PhD symbol before?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, without naming names, I mean,
yeah.
what did you feel like? I mean, is it like you were
yeah.
going for some kind of, you were promoting and people thought, no, she can't do it? Or?
Oh, many times. So my earliest memory of something remotely similar to what we're discussing is when I was growing up. So my grandma sold in the market for many years. Sla Market in Accra is that one on the behind the General Post Office. You know, there's a Sla. Yeah. So my grandma sold there for years, and there was a woman there who was selling rice on that stretch, and she was doing so well. And one day we woke up in the morning where she sold her food. Someone had come to dump bola bola, the one that comes from human beings,
yeah,
because it's breakfast time. I don't want to ruin people's breakfast. They had come to dump that thing there, because if you put human waste somewhere where somebody sells food,
you're trying to throw her business away.
You're trying to throw her business. And as we sat here thinking about this, is the first memory of something like that came to mind. So people do this deliberately, and I've experienced it many times in my career, unfortunately, and in my personal life, and it happens.
Look, in the creative arts sector again, especially with those who the event organizers. Look, for instance, I know that I'll have 2 or 3 events in December, but from what we have experienced and what we know, these event organizers and they book 3 or 4 venues for the same event that's going to be happening in December. They book it 4 or 3 venues. So they close the space or other event organizers from getting those same venues. And guess what? When it's getting close to the event or concert or whatever it is, and then they will now choose which one they want, and then they release the other 3.
At the last minute.
And the last minute. Is that they've blocked you from moving using other.
Yes, that's a strategy that is rife in the creative arts industry. Yes, and even happens with normal productions.
Losing bonus.
For instance, when I'll use ourselves as an example.
Yes.
We've had instances on here. Yes. We've reached out to resource persons. We've done our flyers and put it out there. And our sister stations, I mean, we're all in competition.
They're not sisters. Sisters don't do that.
Well, yeah. And then we find that the same time that we have booked for a resource person, they use some other means and probably bully those people.
Elimination by rough tactics.
Communist
For instance, we were supposed to have a guest one time. We had hyped everything. I mean, from intro, people were sending in comments. And then the last minute, the guy cancelled, and we asked why. He said, because the other TV station is sponsoring this event, I can't come.
Okay.
That's pulling
down.
Exactly.
Let me read some of the comments from Jocelyn Dumas' Twitter. So if you can follow her at Jocelyn_Dumas. Dumas is D-U-M-A-S. And so she basically said, Ghana, with a nice flag there. The pulling down mindset in this country is sad, sickening, mind-blowing, and pathetic. Be happy for your neighbor and push them. That's how doors are open for others to have access. And then Francis Babb says, principalities working 65.
Principalities and powers.
And then you have people saying, my sister, don't waste your precious time on them. Just continue to channel your effort to the good things you are doing. Anointed Stone, J-A-K. And then Abrefi says, this same country has people supporting great artists and great TV personalities like yourself and others. I guess it's never paradise anywhere, but yeah, I get this. And of course, somebody says, which support? You know, so, and then John Germain. John Germain's one is quite a really sad one, because he claims that a Grammy-winning producer
wanted to work with him.
And then somebody went into the guy's DMs and told him not to work with him. But I'm also thinking, you Grammy award-winning producer, if you really wanted to work with John Germain, would you listen?
What's your business listening
Would you listen to the people? And then DKB has come under a lot of flack, you know, for all various reasons. And
Thank you.
He speaks very passionately when these things happen. You want to say something?
Yes.
We have a lot of passion.
Yes. DKB on Twitter, DKB is controversial. I've had DKB, I've spoken to him certain times. But I can understand why if DKB celebrates, that's what he's saying, if he celebrates that, oh, he has maybe 100K followers on Twitter or yada, people will go. Because sometimes DKB, I mean, he's a comedian, but some of his utterances.
But isn't he really entitled to his opinion?
Yes, but remember
the consequences of the opinion.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like because sometimes, I mean, I don't follow him on Twitter. I believe he doesn't follow me as well. But sometimes I see some of his comments, and I can understand why maybe somebody would unfollow him. Yeah.
Okay. So PhD is real? Yeah. How do you deal with PhD?
So here's a story, and about last week thereabouts, I was going about my normal duties after the show, and one of my friends was joining us to go back home, and another presenter from another one of our channels, lifestyle, up the road, and she was chatting with someone else close to me, and I was just making fun of this lady because she was very voluptuous. So this is me looking at this lady. I'm saying, hey, you know, like on 2 feet, you know how we tease somebody, say, oh, SUV on 2 wheels. This one is not SUV. This one is an articulated truck. Because she was very, you know, nicely endowed. And the lady turned around and looked at me and said, you're Thelma? I said, yes. Thelma Taki? I said, yes. The one on the breakfast show? I said, yes. And she said, okay, with this look. And I asked her, why do you make that look? I said, oh, no. I've heard this and that about you. And so I don't want to get into what she had heard. And so she said, so I'm really surprised that I'm meeting you and you are coming across as this kind of person because I've heard that you are XYZ. So I'm like, And I just decided, you know what? And she gave me names of people who had said those things about me. And I just said, so now I see those people. And
That's how you do it, PhD. Yeah, but it's real, eh?
Yeah.
Has it destroyed anybody's career that you know? Like people just reporting you, trying to make you look bad, trying to kind of just undermine your efforts, not appreciating you, just going to choke you. Choke, that's the way we say it. Yeah.
This matter.
This table, don't let us shake it, but yeah.
Don't let us shake this table.
I think it happens everywhere, not just in the creative space. Everywhere, yes. This Ghanaian pull him down attitude. It's everywhere.
We just want to not get into trouble, okay?
But have you ever experienced?
No, I hear people say stuff about me, but you see, the thing about me is that I do not allow somebody's
opinions.
I don't. If I know what I'm doing is correct, and I have my aim, I really don't mind you.
I've heard someone say once. They said, "What people think about you is none of your business."
Thank you. Yeah, that's. And then people come and tell me that, oh, this person is
What's the most painful thing you've heard about yourself?
You see, I don't remember bad stuff. You know, so it happens around that time. I forget about it, and then I continue.
You have tough skin. Some people have harmed themselves. They've taken themselves out of bids, competitions, and pools where they stood chances of being picked as the best because of stuff that people have said about them. And I don't attend certain family events because I'd rather not hear it.
Okay, all right. So I would like to see what people's comments are. I mean, if you are a victim of PhD, pull him down syndrome, we really would love to hear from you. So this is a conversation that, and you want to go on Twitter and check it out because Justin Duma put that tweet out there, and there was a lot of engagement on it, and then people were now sharing their PhD stories. We're going to be speaking with John Germain in a short while. John Germain is a broadcaster, TV, radio, musician.
Singer.
Yes, a singer. And John shared a tweet, and I just want to find out from him, how he felt about the whole thing and what occasion that.
Did
he get the deal?
Yes.
With the
And
Grammy,
so we'll be getting John Germain
producer
in a short while to speak to us on this particular issue. In case you just joined us, this is a conversation on PhD. PhD. Pull him down, you can't go up. We have to keep you on our level,
Meanwhile, those same people who try to pull you down and do all these things, if they were given the same opportunity.
Oh, Lord.
This matter is going to shake a lot of tables. You remember that there were lots of engagements when Jocelyn put out that tweet because people have experienced. I'm not going to sit here and give my personal examples, but if you give the same people the same opportunities that they are going to all lengths to pull you down, given the same opportunity, those people won't even perform. I've seen people.
John Germain is on the line.
Okay,
all right. We speak and they respond. So John Germain, multi-talented broadcaster, musician, singer, songwriter, producer, on the line to talk to us. Hey, John, what happened, man?
King Calf, how are you?
A day like my name. So I saw the tweet in response to Justin Dumas' comment about PhD syndrome. And I just want to read your tweet again for those of us who just joined in and wondering what are these people talking about on GTV. So I'm just pulling up the tweet. So Jocelyn spoke about the pulling down mindset in this country. Sad, sickening, mind-blowing, pathetic. Be happy for your neighbor. Push them. That's how doors are open. And then you came in and said, my brother, responding to DKB. Remember when the Grammy-winning producer tweeted about wanting to work with me? Our people tweet and DM asking him why. And they told him not to. When did this happen, John?
This is about years ago. I had released a follow-up to my first album, which I had in my head. And I think I had released a single called Tell Me, which was doing very well. So I don't know how he heard it, but he tweeted and said, we need to work on new songs. And I think we need to push this single as well, because America will love it. And I just went on his page to check, and I realized he's a multiple Grammy award-winning record producer. So I sent him a message, and I retweeted, and I sent it to a few friends of mine, so they know that this is what's going on, and I might be working with the Grammy-winning producer. But I think days after, he sent me a message and said, "What is wrong? Have I done something wrong in my country? Is there something that he needs to know?" Wow. And I asked him why, and he said, "Well, people are contacting him, sending him, tweeting at him that why does he want to work with me? He shouldn't work with me because why? But why doesn't he know better? Why does he want to work with me? And I found that a bit strange. And he sent me screenshots of the DMs that people have sent to him. Funny enough, some of the people are people I knew.
Oh.
And they were people I know in the showbiz industry.
Oh.
And they were telling him, countless, not to work with me. What's his reason for wanting to work with me? And
wow.
And that was it, because he got the impression, there must be something wrong, because I couldn't tell him that, that's how Ghanaians are. That wouldn't make any sense.
You protect your own. Meanwhile, they didn't protect you too, Charlie. Oh, only by a bad.
Yeah. So that was it. But sincerely, that is not the only time.
Oh, tell us some more. Tell us more.
Because I remember I did a version of Please Don't Go, my own version, which was doing very well on America radio. And one of the producers who worked on that project song, "Who Let the Dogs Out?"
Woof, 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 woof. And he wanted to work with you?
Yes.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah.
Listen to all the propaganda we don't work with you.
If you Google, you can find a story that says that Vassell Bedford wants to work with me because he thinks I'm on the same level as Chris Brown and the other artists. So if you Google, you find that story. But then people started sending him messages, so that didn't happen.
Too bad.
I've never heard from him since. I lost his number. I guess he changed his number. He's running away from trouble.
Oh, Charlie. So, John, what's the way forward with this? And we want to wrap this up quickly. So how do we fight this?
It's a difficult one because I think it's a general mindset. I was telling my wife yesterday. It's like we're driving through town and we saw a car and they've written "Nipa ya bad." Which Nipa? We are all human beings, and it seems it's all of us. So somehow, like the Michael Jackson song, we need to start with the man in the mirror. Look in the mirror and talk to ourselves. What is the point in doing things that will make the other person happy? What do we get from it? It's a bit sad. I don't understand. What is so bad about seeing another person do good? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But just before, I know you're on radio back. You're back on radio now, aren't you?
I'm back on Atlantis Radio, but just once a week on Sunday.
Okay, and the music-wise, as we wrap up, what can we expect in terms of your music?
Charlie, your people kill my Vimo.
Oh, so you stop the music? No.
You know, I have many songs. I think I have about 20 songs in the studio, but I think about when to release them.
All right, and maybe you can produce some up-and-coming artists, man, and we'll bring them on the show, yeah?
Yeah, surely.
Yes. Charlie John, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure.
All right, man. Okay.
All right, so that's John Germain, award-winning broadcaster, musician, and a victim of PhD. I am sure Valerie will ask Ofure Ponsa whether he has been pulled down before. But let me read your messages before we go. Politics is... All right. Kafi, please, PhD is real. I lost a whole salary about a year ago just because of PhD. Until now, that salary hasn't been paid to me. Della from Kasua. Georgia Frani, PhD is part of the Ghanaian culture. We reject this culture in Jesus' name. Mike says, in as much as I don't encourage PhD, we should be able to draw the line between PhD and competition. Most of the scenarios Val narrated are competition strategies, says Kobla, but every scenario that John Germain narrated was not competition. That was just devilry. Devilry, witchery, and wizardry. All right? Thank you very much for this important discussion. Pull him down syndrome is real in our daily lives. I'm a movie producer trying to raise the image of our Kasem movies, but my colleagues in Navrongo rather think that I was coming to take over their work. Pull him down syndrome is in all sectors, and we have to change our mindset. Thank you very much, Kingsley Batako from Navrongo. If not pull him down, Kwesi Nyantechi would have been CAF president by now. PhD is witchcraft. Jeshurun says, it's a killer, guys. This PhD is not only in the entertainment industry, but even in our, churches get PhD. Wow. Guys, thank you so much for that conversation on PhD. Go follow John Germain, DKB, Jocelyn Dumas. Follow GTV as well, GBC Ghana online, and follow Jay and Thelma and Valerie and Alan, all of us. And follow Ofure and Pastor too, because he's following this conversation right after this one. You're watching GTV Breakfast, big conversations all around, and you stay with us. Don't go anywhere. It's time for breakfast. It's time for breakfast.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, my neighbors.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate chicken vegetables. So in my lifetime, I haven't seen Ghana Black Stars being an African country.
Can I show what is written on the box?
Yes, definitely.
Where's the camera?
Just stand and turn.
So what's your pleasure than Votras, yeah? At that time of the morning. So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
We've got you covered with a trusted team.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
So what's your pleasure than Votrasia at that time of the morning?
You want it served buffet style, complimentary breakfast?
On-site restaurant.
Or room service?
We've got you covered.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
With a trusted team.
So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Morning, my neighbor.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate should be vegetables.
So in my lifetime, I haven't seen Ghana Black Stars being an African country.
Can I show what is written on the back?
Yes, definitely.
Where's the camera?
Just stand and turn.
So what's your pleasure than Votrasia at that time of the morning? So never skip breakfast.
On GTV Breakfast.
From Monday to Friday at 6 a.m.
We've got you covered with a trusted team. Hello again, welcome to the warmer side, of course, the Yellow Couch, and it's in partnership with Quick Credit. They say lending is made easy. So for Yamponsa is seated right by me, guys. What do you want to know? What do you want to ask for Yamponsa? Our WhatsApp number is 055-55-61034. I have a couple of interesting questions, but let's see what Quick Credit has in store for Ghanaians. We'll be right back.
Hey, tell me. Beer.
They ma worry me. Watch me, you phone 1 week, Mr. WDT. Oh, now,
yes. Boga, nade. Senior, name me and you ma cut down my business is a collapse. I'm out of bounds. So, take Quick Credit in Ghana. Quick Credit? Yes, Quick Credit. Who pesika? Eddie Astati, you may be. Who here be seen Eddie Atru with your DM. We are government and a private worker. Who pesika de ati hot so. We are Busumi Ejuma. Who here sikadia bibin tempai so. Quick Credit be ma loan. And what you are kakra. Na eni just some kesi ani say. A collateral free loaner, susu, savings, account opening, and a deposit as MBA. The here say, who Ghana card. 2022 year, 1 year Juma. Now one hour young. Who need excuse here? Quick Credit to 03022 00390 and 05969 20833.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's a good morning, and we serve you breakfast.
Not just any breakfast.
Sizzling helping.
Yeah, all the time. Okay, let's take a peek. I brought my spine.
There are certain things that we do to help the children with their brushing.
And there's much more on offer on GTV Breakfast.
You want it served buffet style?
On-site restaurant.
Complimentary breakfast?
Off of your plate should be vegetables.
So in my lifetime, I haven't seen Ghana Black Stars being an African country.
Can I show what is written on the back?
Yes, definitely.
Where's the camera?
Just stand and turn.
So what's your pleasure than Votrasia at that time of the morning?
Okay, guys, and so meet Yamponsa on the Yellow Couch. Yamponsa, welcome officially.
Thank you so much.
We've not had you here on the new GTV Breakfast.
Yeah, it's been a long time, very, very long time. I think it will be like 16 years, over 16 years or something. Yeah.
It's good vibes, huh? It's good vibes.
Yeah, of course.
Obori, have you experienced PhD in your profession? And somebody tried to pull you down? Any experiences you can share? One experience.
Of course, there are a lot of experiences, but you know, I don't focus much on this stuff.
Like CAF then?
Yeah, of course, because I focus on what I really want to achieve in this life.
Okay.
And this life is very short, and you need to be focused. Other than that, you'll be distracted by like all this stuff.
All these things. Yeah. So you just stick to the positive.
Of course, what you want to do. That's all.
Okay.
That's
but how do you, when you get these negative calls?
If you're positive minded, you just like don't focus on what people are saying.
Focus on other things.
You have to focus on what you want to really do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. And that's it. That should be it.
Okay, so you've experienced it, but you don't want to dwell on those experiences.
Like when I was starting, I've had this experience when people were talking. We were at like a restaurant, and guys were talking about me at my back, but they didn't know I was.
You were sat in the restaurant.
Right behind them. So they were talking like, oh, for example, when he sings, we don't hear nothing, you know. And then, you know, but it gave me an opportunity to change my style, my stuff, and my music.
Okay.
And the following album that I did was better than any album that I've done. So you shouldn't be like, I don't concentrate on what they're saying. I just pull out the positive side.
But when I was speaking about, did you reveal yourself to them?
Of
Later
course.
on, did you tell them that?
They bought everything in the bar for me. Every
Of course. Right. Now, I've always wanted to ask you that. I said, anytime I met you, I was going to ask you, did God really call you to become a pastor?
God calls everybody. God has a particular gift or calling for everybody in this life. And what matters most is what you discover about what God has called you to do. So I believe God has a calling for everybody.
No. For you, I'm not answering.
And
I said you. Did God call you?
Of course.
He did.
Course.
Okay.
Of course. And one day I was just singing, like around 2008, and this picture of 2020 just came to me. You know, I don't have any church or any person to tell, but to put it in a song. The year 2020. So soon let me ask you, did they come?
Well, yeah.
Well, not
so
well, yeah.
Who started prophecy? You started there.
Music is prophetic.
Okay.
You know, it's a prophetic gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But what Ghanaians want to know is that you actually came out and said you were shaking secular music.
Right, for a time. Yeah, for a time. You know, I went through my own personal stuff, you know, very difficult times. But what people should know, Oforiamponsa started in a church. I was in a church. I was praying to be the Oforiamponsa that you see today.
You started in church?
Of course. So I started with prayer in church. Tesano Baptist was my church and still my church, though I'm not regular right now. But so after encountering like those problems in my life, I didn't know anywhere to go to, but to go back to God in prayer. So that's what I do. In everything that you do, without God, it's nothing. So that's my life. That's been my life.
Okay. So when you put secular music on hold and you went into ministry,
right?
Did you make any gospel songs?
No, actually ministry person, because I've been a prayer throughout my life. Even when I was making the hits or Tolege, Ojo, I had a prayer tower praying behind me all the time, because that's my belief. I believe so much in God. I've got nothing. I got no bosom or something, you know, that I'm about to. So it's just God. So that's what I do. But actually, people don't know the work that you put it into stuff. They just see the results. So that's it.
Okay. So while you were on hold with High Life Music, did you make any gospel songs?
I tried my hands on it. Actually, I don't like gospel music. I'm not so much into it. For me, what I
you don't like gospel songs?
Not actually. I like certain types of gospel, like worship songs and stuff. I like it, but not the normal mainstream gospel that like I hear on radio.
Okay. No. So assuming you had stuck in gospel. Assuming you are stuck, you got stuck.
I wasn't actually going to do gospel.
Oh, you?
Because I wasn't into.
You had no intention of even doing gospel music.
No.
Just to preach the word, evangelism.
Just to talk about how Oforiamponsa came to be, the prayer that I prayed before Oforiamponsa came to be. People don't actually know, and young people coming up don't even know how I started. You know, sometimes I'll just like sit in a room for 12 hours.
Can we see your eyes? I mean, you're saying very emotional things. Can we see your eyes, please?
Okay, yes, you can.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
All right. So I think without God, without prayer, and without belief, you cannot actually make it in this life. Yeah, so that's my belief.
So what it is that Oforian Ponsa didn't just put high life music on hold.
I wanted to just go back to my God, where I started crying to him when I had nothing. I was just in a single room, a small corner, in backyards and in kiosks, trying to make it in life. I had to depend on God, go back to God in prayer. So what about Oforian Ponsa comes out? Oforian Ponsa is big. I went to Liberia. It was massive. Ivory Coast, Equatorial Guinea, Sierra Leone. It was just like, I can't explain it.
It was back to back.
So that was the time I just started thinking about going back, to God.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your breakthrough? Did it have anything to do with Daddy Lumba? Did your breakthrough have anything to do with Daddy Lumba?
Actually, Daddy Lumba was the pillar. He was the one who discovered me, actually. When I would just pick my CDs, go around town, nobody was even listening to me until I met Daddy Lumba. And the very first time I met him, he said, "You are a star, and I'm going to help you." And so he was a pillar. He is the mastermind. And actually, the first time that I met him is still ringing in my ear. Oforian Ponsa, you are going to sell like me. You are going to be like me. And it was prophetic, and it came to pass. Yeah, and I thank him.
You swept 6 awards in one night at the VGMAs.
I think 7 more times.
7?
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Well, I thought, when I started with my own solo career, I came out with a sale which did very well. I thought I was going to have an award for that because I sold over 400,000 copies in a short space of time. So I felt I did very good, and I somehow was disappointed. So I said, why not concentrate on my craft? Why not concentrate on my writing and my, so I just went into it and forgot about, so I wasn't even expecting anything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you did good. You did good. Would you say you're still relevant when it comes to music, the music industry, modern music industry now in Ghana? Do you think you're still relevant?
I get money on music more than any venture that I'm still doing.
Charlie, tell us about it. Yeah.
And I think my work speaks for itself. 20 years after releasing some of the songs, still playing on air, radio every day, playing around the world, and I think I have made my mark. Yeah.
Okay, so you've made your mark. Now that you're back, are you looking to do more music, or you think now you just lay back and be the grandpapa and let the young cats come to you for advice?
Well, every morning I do a song. Just record in my studio, sit down, get my computer, and I do a song every morning. And I'm trying to come out, release it sometime, or probably young people will just come up and listen to it and one day come out with it. So I still...
This morning, what song did you write this morning? Every day you write, what song did you write
last
this morning?
night I was in the studio.
Okay.
Until about 1 a.m. So I'm recording new songs, and it will be a surprise, big songs and big acts on the song, because Oforian Ponsa is celebrating 20 years, and I think I have to come up with something different. Yeah.
Okay, so the song that you were in the studio till 1 a.m. Can you give us like?
It was about PhD. Pull him down.
And I was saying, you're saying that you don't even give a thought to PhD. So why are you doing a song? I mean, you're in the spirit. Or
no, I actually don't focus on it, because if you focus on it, you fall yourself.
Okay, so is the song you're writing was about PhD? Give us a few. Give us.
Oh, really?
I have for you're about to do all your songs. So like we're about to have a full concert.
Better. Mon famille comme police, inspector, mechimie. Mon famille comme inspector, mon famille comme inspector, mon famille comme police, inspector, mechimie. Ghana people be dangerous, so anything that they hear, everything that they watch, big mouth go carry, So that's the song. And it's like I didn't know you would be talking about it this morning. So
also was like you're in the spirit.
I am. Every day I am.
Right. Now tell us your general views about, I mean, you've worked with top acts. Before you even tell us your general views about the music industry, you started with a group of guys.
Right.
Would you say that when you were with them, they were sort of dimming your shine, and then when you moved away from them, your light shone?
Well, there is time for everything. And I think the time that came in was a very important milestone in my career, because I was doing it myself. I was doing Sardine. I did Cinderella.
Pause.
Yeah.
Charlie Opoyaponsa, give us the chorus of Sardine. Just do for us.
Onye, modern energy. Onye. Antony Pumo, Bibi Bessianaji, Wada, House, Bibi Bessianaji, Mite, House, Ekoni say, Ebani say, Ebani say, Obana, Mantietian Kikobia, some on baby sardine.
Okay. We just had to bring that in.
Right,
okay.
Right.
Oh, no, so you were telling us.
Right. So I think they were important. They came in to give a fresh air to whatever. So I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with them? Are you in contact with them?
Of course I am.
Okay. So Ovori, if you were to go, which people were in your league, your mates, if I would say, when you started music and you were in your prime? Which people were at par with you?
Well, I think I started with Dasibri Jamna. Dasibri Jamna came out before Florian Ponsa. Tic Tac also came out around that time. Baffoe came out, and that was the time Florian Ponsa came out. I think. Yep.
Okay. So out of these four you've mentioned, if you were to, So if you were to have a collaboration, one of these now, who would you pick, top of the head?
I think the one that I've already missed is Dasibri Jamna.
Oh,
yeah. He should have done something before he went away. And sometimes that's what I talk about life. You don't know when you're going, so you have to just get prepared. Do whatever you have to do today, not tomorrow. And that's the problem with we Ghanaians. We just we don't have the vision, actually the vision to do stuff, and it's killing.
Okay. How many albums do you have?
It should be about 15 albums.
Okay. Do you have an idea how many songs you have? Putting all those albums together, how many songs do you have?
It will be over 200 songs. Yeah. Okay. Over 200 songs.
But then I also know a little bit whispered earlier on and said that your favorite song from you is Ojo. Why?
Of course.
Why?
I don't know. I flow with Ojo. I like it. It's simple to sing. It's it has the high life feel to it, and I love high life. So I think Ojo will be. Tola Get To is, I can't just pick right now, but Ojo is, when I'm singing on stage, Ojo is the best.
Okay, yeah. So I'm asking you to do a mini Oforian Ponsa concert, because this is what we are doing today. So between Ojo and Tola Get, which one will you pick?
On stage, it will be Ojo.
Ojo. Okay, so what Ojo is playing.
Yeah. So
we are sounding up on you guys. It's the Thursday edition, throwback edition of GTV Breakfast. Oforian Ponsa is in studio and Ojo is playing now.
I'm singing this song. Check out the flavor. Me do you cool to them. Me nim se me nya no di me dem. Only fear o sha me dem. Me no do no me ni na dem. Come come asem. Me put on the se ko su le da me sem. Only wine, only say, me ni odia. Go share man nanti. To fancy.
So I'm sure everybody can bear witness with me that there's no event, party, funeral, there's nothing that you can go to where an Oforia Ponsa song won't be played, and he's our guest. Oforia Ponsa, your song is evergreen. Some people say it's because of how you started and the people who mentored you.
Right.
But what makes a good song? What makes a song still jammable after 20 years?
I think it's the technical side to a song, you know, not just like the beat or everything, but the technical side of the song. You should work with people who are into the music, who knows, you know, the in and outs of music. So that's number one. Number two would be the message of the song. Right now, I don't hear no message. It's like just a beat and some kind of... Yes, that's the problem. So there should be a message to a song.
Yeah.
Bob Marley is being played because of the message, you know, so the message is very important.
So it's always the content of the songs.
Of course.
That makes it evergreen or still makes it relevant.
Of course.
Okay. So, Oforia, you've been around for a long time. Like, you're a huge resource when it comes to high life music.
Right.
What do you know about songwriting that these young acts coming up don't know that you might perhaps want to share? Or you say masterclass?
Well, music, okay, so when you hear music, music comes from actually what we think is as an angel called the muse.
Okay.
And the muse comes to anybody who puts his mind to music. So if you put your mind to anything, and especially music, then you can write something if you love it. For example, when I was very young, I would just be going about singing. I wasn't crazy. I was just rehearsing in me. I was just trying to get stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so it means you need peace. For example, I had to relocate to a village, like go outside Accra, not live among people, to bring all these hit songs. Yeah, so you need to, you know, have the peace, because it will come with a lot of pressure on you. Hey, what you are doing is not right now. Music is not fetching. You need to find some job to do. So if you don't put your mind to it, you cannot make it. So, yeah.
So discipline, and you have to be into what you want.
Of course. I wake up every day 4 a.m. or 11 a.m. like 4:30. I'll be up and I'll be thinking. When people are sleeping, I'll be thinking about what to write. Because when you wake up with everybody in the noise, and then you'll be going to from club to club, you cannot make it. You know, you just like come out a few years and you are gone. And so that's the problem. So what you hear is concentration, is meditation, is prayer before you get to all this stuff.
Constant hard work.
Of course.
And guess what? A lot of people have missed you, and seeing your face on screen and hearing your voice, sending our messages. So CAF is on the interactive screen. We have some messages from people who want to interact with you. So CAF.
All right. This is, it says, oh my God, I love this voice. Hashtag GTV breakfast. And then Nanayal says, for always being grateful to Daddy Lumba, Oforia has earned my utmost respect. You will go higher, from Roy in Cape Coast.
Thank you.
And I have one question for you. What is the craziest thing a fan has done for you or to you?
Oh, wow. I went to Liberia for a show, and we had a very big stage. The stage was very tall, even taller than this building, and I was on top of that stage when a fan ran from nowhere trying to grab me, and I thought I would die because I thought I would. That's the most craziest thing that happened to me. But talking about Liberia was so massive. You know, I brought the footages and people didn't want to show it on TV.
Why?
Because they thought I was a president or something. Because it looked like...
That's a PhD.
Of course.
Right there. That's PhD right there.
A station called me, we won't play this thing.
Why? That's PhD right there.
Actually, I don't
But do you still have those videos? Do you still have them?
We want to see them.
We want to see them.
Of course.
Yeah. We want
and
to see them.
Liberia was great. Liberia was great. Ivory Coast, I was crying because the reception was too much for me. I couldn't even sing. The reception, and then I was just comparing to my own country. The reception, a prophet is not respected in his own country.
So, Kaf, that's it?
That's it.
Right. Oforia, who are your favorite songwriters?
Davido Germain will be one. Amachidede will be one. And my own man, Daddy Lumba. Daddy Lumba has a crazy way of, you know, I don't know where he brings his words, but Charlie, He has a powerful gift. Yeah.
All these people that you've mentioned are legends in their own right when it comes to highlife music.
Right.
Now let's move a bit more into modern day Ghanaian music. If you were to choose any of the new songwriters, or maybe perhaps some of the young people to work with, who would you choose?
There are very, very good people like around now, and I'm working with Kim Promise. Kim Promise has a way of like, you know, I just remember myself when I said Kim Promise is so tight.
Nice, nice.
Kim Promise.
Big endorsement, Kim Promise. Big endorsement.
Of course, he's a very good songwriter. Sometimes I just admire how he just like pick the mic, go without no writing or anything, and bring out a good song. He will just like take it once, one take. And the song is
does he remind you of your younger self?
Of course. And I think we have, you know, the guys to, you know, pick the flag of Ghana high when we concentrate on them. Kiddy will be one. Kiddy also, you know, has a very good way of like bringing out music. And
now, when you were in your prime and Oforian Ponsan was the go-to name for every event and every concert, we didn't have social media. It wasn't so rife, and so I'm sure if it was now, you probably see yourself having some collaborations with our Nigerian counterparts.
Of course.
Who would you pick? Which Nigerian guy would you pick?
I like Davido.
I
like Davido, and you know he has a very, you know, different voice. Not too sweet a voice, but you know he's there. He's there.
Is it about his like, you know, his persona when he goes on stage? Is it? I think.
No, actually, is the song is the way of singing. I like it.
Okay. Well, and how about delving and moving into the dancehall genre?
Actually, I believe music is music. I don't actually know the difference between dancehall and high life. Actually, I don't.
Wow, are you sure?
There's not. To me, there is nothing.
Why
music,
do you say that?
Because music comes out in a spontaneous way. It comes out. It's a creative process. I cannot sit down and say, okay, right now I'm singing high life. It just comes to me. You know, when you want a song to be evergreen, let the song come to you. Don't go to the song.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes people just like go trying to find a song. No, you just like keep your peace and you just relax, and then the song itself will come. I'm giving one example. I was singing the song Abelewas. Actually didn't know how I came with those words, put those words together. It was playing in my, you know, so sometimes the music will come to you. You were asking me a question about songwriting. Let the music come to you by doing all these things. Prayer, meditation, and focus on your craft, and the music will come to you. Yeah, you don't go to the song. When you go to the song, it will just take 3 months and it's gone forever. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you believe there's a school of thought that says that most of the songs that we are making now has these short lifespans because they don't put a lot of research into it? Do you think it's right?
We should be original, and what we have is our high life. What we have is like our core. This is what we have to be doing. We don't have to be doing all these foreign things. And I am surprised Ghanaians are shifting so fast away from the originality that we possessed before Nigerians came in to pick it up. And right now, people are singing high life in Nigeria. They don't sing it. Whatever song that you are hearing now is high life, purely high life.
Now, why are you surprised? Why are you surprised that people are?
I don't actually know why Ghanaians are just like running away from, and that is the reason why we are losing our identity as a music name. We don't have it.
Music,
yeah, because you know when we were like 2008, 2009, there was no Nigerian. You know, it was Ghanaian music all around. You know. And right now we just shifted away from our high life, and I don't know where we are going now.
Okay. Yep. There's something that in football we are touting that bring back the love. What do you think will bring back the love for proper high life music in Ghana?
When we get out, corruption, especially with the football that you're saying, when we get out, we have to look inside. We have to look into the mirror. You know, somebody may have a talent, but that person will not play because he doesn't have the means to pay. Of course, and he will die with the talent.
And the one who
doesn't have it will just come and pay and be there.
Hello, very sorry, but which ones do you think don't have talent?
Actually, if we want a Black Stars now, we can just go around Accra and have a Black Stars squad.
Okay.
Of course, there are talents around, and you know why these people are running away? Like these young people, they are not trying to get into the squad. Do you know why?
Why?
It's because of this problem. They will come and sit on the bench, and we will just kill their career, kill their shine.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the problem. We have to look. Ghana is #1 when it comes to football.
But that's football,
right?
That's football.
And
musically, how do you think we can bring back the love?
Go back to your roots. Just go back.
How will you help us to do that?
I think we have to just as I said, music comes out of the soul. We have to do a soul searching.
So that's it.
That's it. And see what if the music that we are doing is getting to the
because we have you here and you're an all-rounder. What are your thoughts on e-levy? It's a huge debate that's going on. What are your thoughts?
My problem with this it's not actually the e-levy itself. It's about accountability.
Accountability.
Accounting for what we pay. That is my problem. And I think we have to pay. If we don't want to go to IMF or whatever, we have to pay. But accounting for the money we pay is a problem. Look, I am living at Asofa. I got there 20 years ago. I brought the poles and everything. I did it. The streets are there 20 years. And I think the next 20 years it will still be there. The dusty road that we're walking on. And so it is not one government thing. It is like our notion, our mindset as a people, And so the e-levy thing, I don't have a problem if I pay. Because actually people, you just talk to yourself, how many people are paying taxes in this country?
Sure.
So we should do something. But accounting for what
we
pay
use the money for
is what we have to be talking about as a people. Somebody will just grab 1 million, it's under his bed, he's spending.
Right. So. Okay, let me ask a quick thoughts on, have you ever had the need to call the Ghana Ambulance Service?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think it will happen. When it happens, I'll be going home.
I
don't think about sickness. It's not in my mindset.
Okay,
no,
okay.
Yeah.
But there are some people who've had experiences with the Ghana Ambulance Service where when you call them, you're asked to pay certain monies before. So if you've not had the need to call the ambulance service, then you are very lucky.
I don't think there will be a need for that. But what I would say is Ghanaians should sit down. Actually, we should do an introspection. We should actually sit down. The cause of all these things is not the people in power. We feed them. So it's what we feed them with, what they are doing. We look down on our own country. We don't even care about our own country. And the people can be played at any time. You want to come to power, just give them some sardine. And some small and sometimes I wonder when people are following and trying to get stuff, trying to get one CD from and so the problem is we the people. It's not the people.
Like Kafu say, Ghana is a big crime scene. That's what Kafu say. Ghana is a
of course,
big crime scene.
And the criminals are walking free. While the small somebody will just steal this. If I steal this right now, I'll go spend 10 years. They use it as a scapegoat.
Yeah,
but the real criminals are walking on the street.
Tell you, you are giving us jabs and punchlines this morning. When Ofori you were rife and back-to-back hit zones, social media was totally non-existent. Now there's big Twitter, there's big IG, there's Facebook, lots of social media handles. How do we find you on social media? What are your handles? Are you active?
I am not actually. No, I'm not so much into it, but I do go on see what is going on. And so official Ofori Amponsa.
Official Ofori Amponsa on IG.
Yeah, on IG. And Ofori Amponsa 11 on Facebook. Yeah.
Ofori Amponsa 11 on Facebook. Ofori Amponsa official on IG. That's where that's where you go if you have to follow. And follow him and see what he's up to. So 20 years in the industry, what's in the pipeline? Any concerts, Ofori Amponsa concerts coming up?
I would love all my guys, like everybody that I have worked with in my career to sing with me. I would love if I would see that Lumba on stage with me. That would be a crazy thing.
We can't wait. We can't wait for you. We can't wait for you.
So we are planning, and surely it will be coming on this year.
Right. Front row tickets as usual for everybody on this team. Please give us your word.
Oh, I promise.
Okay.
I promise.
So what should we take home from this interview? Your final words to everybody.
My final words: nothing is possible. That's what I would say. If you're a musician, if you're a pastor, I don't care if you're a president, whatever, you need
whoever
God.
you are, you need God.
Need God.
Without
need
God,
prayer.
nothing is impossible.
Nothing will be possible.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for passing
You're welcome.
through. Thank you. We've loved chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank
Guys,
you so
we've been speaking with the evergreen Oforian Ponsa. Tell me you still don't listen to his songs and jam. And he's been our guest on the Yellow Couch. You can find him on Instagram as official Oforia Ponsa. Share his music and share. It's been 20 years in the industry. The guy is a serious resource person when it comes to music, guys. And he says we should look forward to a concert that's probably going to be soon. We don't